To lead the Skol chant and sound the Yeller horn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to the Let's Skol Show. I'm Michael Fish. With me, I have the Captain Munnerlin of Positivity, Cody Bowden. He who greets with smoke, Shaq. And Keith's going to join us shortly. He's doing his behind-the-scenes stuff, but as always, he'll be coming on in just a minute. Welcome to our 7th off-season show of the year. We're going to be here every week during this off-season. We're going to get through this together, everybody. So tonight, we're going to take a look at the Skol News. We got another edition of You Got Stumped. And this time I got the incomparable Nick James, baby. Can he beat me? We'll find out. It's Combine weekend, so we're going to talk that a little. And we have cornerback and safety free agents we have to go over. And, of course, our hot takes. So, fellas, let's kind of kick this off with a little bit of a different subject. Who was one player that you were sad to see retire, even if they didn't do it as a Viking? Start us off, Cody.
Sad one player to retire, even though he didn't do it as a Viking. That would have to be John Randall. I would put just the way he conducted himself on the field, and he was probably one of the most exciting players I watched growing up when I was a toddler all the way through until Randy Moss got there. And I love every single one of his insert cards. Like I collect trading cards, right? And I think I have more John Randall trading cards than any other player, including Jefferson and Moss. But yeah, John Randall would be the guy that retired. And thank God he didn't do it from the Vikings, but he should have. I mean, he went to Seattle and it was just a nightmare. But yeah, John Randall's the guy.
Amen to John Randall. He's my favorite Viking of all time. Who you got, Shaq?
I was going to say Adrian Peterson, but he didn't retire yet. So I got to go with the OG, Randy Moss. Like I said many times before on the show, he is the reason why I became a Vikings fan in the first place. And, like, to see how he changed the league and to know that he was close to getting a ring, even though it wasn't with us. But, you know, just watching him play was always a good feeling, knowing, like, everybody knows he's getting the ball. How do you want to stop him from getting the ball? And that was always a matchup. And to see him retire was like, damn.
Yeah, the super freak. So there's a reason why we're bringing this up, is because Harrison Smith, Hitman, may be retiring. And I think that's going to make a lot of us get in our feelings about how, we think about whether or not he should. But we should actually get the answer on that in the next couple of weeks, because there's a trigger in his contract. And if he's still a Viking on March 15th of this year, his 2026 salary becomes guaranteed. Either of you want to guess how much that is? $25 million. So if he doesn't retire before the 15th or they don't work out a restructure, the Vikings will be forced to cut him. Having to cut Hitman. Keith, I know you've always said this is your last favorite Viking. So the possibility of having to cut him, how would that make you feel?
Not good. It wouldn't set easy with me, especially because, I mean, I hope he understands the situation, but it might make him feel a little bit vindictive and like, you know what? I am going to play, and I'm going to go find a team that's playing the Vikings this year. I'm going to go sign with the Packers. I'm going to go sign with the Bears. I mean, I don't think he would do that,
Lions.
but that opens up the Lions, maybe. That opens up the possibility that happened, or just opens up the possibility to him playing elsewhere, period. I do hope that, you know, he makes his decision soon. It sucks for him that he's kind of forced to, but I think he has to understand that the Vikings are never going to pay him that $25 million. Nobody's going to pay him that $25 million. And if he's serious about wanting to win an NFL championship before he does retire, he's got to know what's best for the team would not be paying him $25 million. No team should pay him that. So I hope he, you know, comes to that decision before we have to cut him. I do think that maybe we could cut him with the understanding that he will resign with us at some point if he decides to come back. So there is that. But you are opening the door to him going elsewhere. So I would hate to see the headline the Vikings cut Harrison Smith, even if it's temporarily.
Yeah, it'd be bad optics. What do you think, Cody?
I hate it too, because if Harrison Smith retires, then John Randall can probably move over. I mean, we all watched Harrison Smith get drafted in 2012, and we don't really draft safeties in the first round. He was like one of those first safeties we drafted in the first round, and he's been with the team through his whole career. He said he could have gone to a Super Bowl contending team, right? In the years of 2000 and after that first 5-year contract, what is that? 2016. He could have gone, but he believed in the system, believed in Mike Zimmer, and we ended up going to a National Football Conference championship, right? So watching him retire, the one thing, if he does move on with us, we cut him, I'd like to see him go to a team like the Ravens, or just like a blue collar defense that can win him a Super Bowl.
No, I don't see any of that. I don't want to see any of that, man.
Shaq?
So what you're saying is he needs to take another pay cut.
Well, no, because he's only scheduled to make like $1 million this year. So they could work out a contract where it's like, you know what, you're going to make $5 million this year. You know, so like he could still come up. And I think I checked, he's only like $4 to $5 million away from making $100 million in his career playing football. That's a cool milestone. So we can get him to that. You know, he's a $100 million player, but he knows he's not seeing that $26 million. It's not taking a pay cut because we don't know if he's going to play in 25. Who the hell thinks he's going to play in 26? But we might have that guaranteed money to him.
Yeah. So for me, it'd be sad to see him go because, like, he was one of the last great Vikings players that Spielman actually drafted before Justin Jefferson. That was like, you know, when we was building that elite defense, it started with Harrison Smith. Then we grabbed Everson Griffin, Xavier Rhodes. That 2017 defense, the key and the heart of that defense was Harrison Smith. And like to see him retire is gonna be sad. But I would like to see him come back for one last year, see what we could do for $5 million, $6 million.
What does your gut say, Shaq? Do you think he's coming back?
Yeah, I think he'd come back for one more year. This would be his twilight year, I think.
You agree, Fish? You think he's coming back?
I hope so. And you know what? Because if y'all remember about a month or two ago, friend of the show, Lo, actually had an interaction with him, which was kind of rare. And she posted it on social media where she was actually standing next to him in a coffee shop. And he was so unassuming. At first, she did not recognize him, didn't realize she was standing next to him, and was talking to his wife and kid about it. You know, the kids were there. And then when she realized that, she asked him about an autograph, and he said he would oblige. And then something happened to where she didn't get it. She started to walk off, and he actually ran her down and said, "Hey, what about that autograph?" and gave it to her, and then took a selfie with her. And it's the little things where he enjoys his interaction with Vikings fans. And I hate to, bring too much personal in it, but there's a difference between being obliging and signing an autograph and then saying, "Wait a minute, get back here." I hope he does make one more run. I hope we do not cut this man. It would be bad optics. I wouldn't even want to risk him feeling slighted to where he felt like he should go somewhere else and take one shot. So here's hoping.
Yeah, I don't think he retires. I think with B-Flow coming back, that really increases chances of it coming back. You agree, Cody?
Yeah, I would say so. And just making it like a farewell tour. I mean, you had 14 wins last year. He's got to be still bought in. Bring him back. You got to bring him back, especially with the defense and the new players that we're probably going to be bringing in on this team. Still players in their second year. You need that veteran presence, that captain. And when things get hairy and they get dirty, you need someone to fix it. And what do we call Harrison Smith all the time? The fixer. And we need him back. And I agree 100% he does come back.
It's funny? B-Flow during the interviews the last couple of years, he says they try to limit Harrison Smith snaps during the game. But every year, he's like, every time he see Harrison Smith standing next to him, he's like, "Go out there." It's kind of hard to keep him off the field, no matter how old he is. He always brings that veteran leadership. Yeah, he's not the young, youthful Harrison Smith that we all love, but he always still brings, grit, and he's a willing tackler. He's not going to, just because he can't tackle like he used to, doesn't mean he's not going to try.
Yeah, he played 1,009 snaps last year, which was the 20th most among 170 70s. So there was no limitation on his snaps last season. So speaking of players maybe coming back, am I frozen?
No, you're good.
You're good now.
Yeah, you're blinking.
You guys...
What's that movie?
Sometimes I can't tell because you guys freeze up, so I can't tell if it's me or you guys.
It's you, Keith. It's always you.
I honestly do believe that.
If all of us are freezing, it's not us that's the problem.
It's me. I got to back out.
Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, getting into some of the news. Kind of things have come up that Sam Darnold tagging him is still an option. So even though we've already said that the Vikings will not franchise Sam, the story just isn't going away. And earlier this week, a couple of big names have mentioned the potential of it happening. Ian Rappaport, and I quote, "If they are comfortable enough for J.J. McCarthy to be the guy, they're in an unbelievable situation with Sam Darnold. He believes Sam Darnold is the top QB option in free agency, and the Vikings are willing to use the tag to take advantage of the situation." Ben Gosling also pointed out that Kwesi mentioned they are still talking with Sam. And the Vikings have until March 4th to place the tag. So that's, is that Tuesday? Guys, do you think they'll tag Darnold?
I 100% think they will tag Sam Darnold just because the amount of draft picks we have, right? And it'll make sense. You're going to get something out of him. People think, "Oh, we should get a first." No, probably not going to get a Sam Darnold. You probably get the equivalent of a second. Now, when I say equivalent, it's not a second right off the, it could be 2/3 and a fourth, or it could be a third this year, a fourth this year, and a third next year. We're going to get something for Sam Darnold. And thinking back again, I've been saying it, 14 wins isn't just, you don't just run away from it, right? 14 wins are 14 wins. And that could be heavily seated in KOC's mind and in Kwesi's mind, thinking, well, he did take us to 14 wins.
Not going to happen. Still not going to happen.
So the only way I see this actually happening is if we kind of either Sam Donald give us a cheap price that we can't simply refuse for him to come back and compete with J.J. McCarthy, or we talk to other teams and Sam Donald and we agree to a signing trade.
I just don't see the incentive for Donald to sign the franchise tender, and I don't see why the Vikings would tie up $40 million of their cap dollars trying to make a trade going and possibly missing out the first day or two of free agency.
I mean, that's not the only, they're not going to miss out on any kind of days of free agency with a tag. I mean, they can talk to
That's $40 million locked up. Oh yeah, they're going to bring in these top free agents. Hey, we don't have the money now, but we're going to get it.
That works.
We're going to have it.
Agree to something. Okay, I'll sign that agreement. Okay, come over here. You haven't signed
we're totally going to trade Sam Darnold. He's not traded yet, but trust me, it's going to happen. And then we're going to have the money.
Nothing's on paper. It's just a verbal agreement. Yeah, came over.
Yeah. How much were we paying Kirk Cousins and Danielle Hunter last off season?
A lot. That's why we only had $38 million. That's why we only had $38 million in cap.
And we still signed Gennard and other free
Which one of them?
agents.
Which one of them was a top free agent last year?
Gennard.
Because I thought we were going bigger. No, he wasn't a top name. No, he wasn't.
Was he signed the first day free agency?
He ended up playing like one, but he wasn't a top name in the free
first day free agency. Last time I checked, he was signed the first day of free agency.
A lot of players were. Doesn't mean they're a top free agent. Nobody was talking about Gennard.
Check it out. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen during the tampering period. All right. And the March 10th is probably the biggest date everyone should be looking out for.
Alex, I do believe teams have franchise tag players to trade them. The Chiefs did it last year with the cornerback. I'm forgetting his name right now. They went to the Titans. Snead.
Yeah.
Jerry Snead. So they tagged him to trade him. But I think it's a little bit different in this situation because nobody expects the Vikings to want Sam Darnold back. Like to do this and make it happen, teams got to actually believe that you want to keep him. And I don't think there's any belief that the Vikings are interested in keeping him for $40 million.
The Ravens did with Yannick Ngakoue.
But there's belief that teams want Sam Darnold. So it goes.
Of course, as a free agent.
He's not going to sign for that $40 million or whatnot off the franchise tag when he gets traded.
I understand that.
It's a whole new contract when he gets traded.
But now teams are like, I got to pay this guy $40 million and I got to give up draft picks.
No, you don't have to pay him $40 million. What if he gets traded and he signs for 30, 32, or $28 million?
A lot of what ifs here.
We're in the off season. The whole fucking thing's a what if.
Right. Like so you're like asking for the perfect scenario to maybe squeeze out a third round draft pick. Which we're going to get in compensation anyways.
Cody's assuming that he would sign a $30 million contract. If I'm franchise tagged at $42 million and then I'm traded, I'm not obligated to sign a contract with the team that traded for me. I can play out that franchise tag and then maybe get a bigger contract.
He gets franchise tag, a trade is already on the table.
I get it, but what I'm saying is...
You realize this ends on Tuesday, right? The last day to franchise somebody's on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, Matt, his biggest suitor is probably the Raiders, who are being dangled Matt Stafford right now.
Yes.
Tom Brady was out there skiing with them.
Steelers are out there. They're too high in the draft to get a quarterback. Who else is out there?
Steelers are going to get Aaron Rodgers.
What if? Man, what if they get Aaron Rodgers?
That's not a what if.
That's a fit.
It's a fact. It's a fact. So I said it the first week of our hot takes that Sam Darnold will not be franchised by the Vikings, and I stand by that. It's not going to happen because the payoff is not much greater than the third round comp we're going to get, and they don't do that to players. Like if there was like a first round pick available, yeah, okay, they probably do it, but that's not the scenario here.
I mean, the pick this year is better than the pick next year.
Why, Shaq? Because the new GM will be able to do it better? Sorry, man. I just had to.
I mean, if I am the GM next year, then Super Bowl, homeboy.
Everybody's chomping in the comments about offensive line. So, one of our top free agents that we went over last week, I think the top, was Trey Smith, the Chiefs guard, and the Chiefs tagged him. We knew this was a possibility. So I guess now at this point, while y'all are lubed up and talking about tagging and trading, who wants to give up pick number 24 for Trey Smith? Raise your hand.
I don't think it's going to be pick 24 for Trey Smith. I think
Just saying, anybody in the comments want to give up our 24th pick in this draft for Trey Smith now that he's been franchise tagged? Anybody? Going once? I know, Grizzly Bears.
I think it'll be the equivalent of a second because you've got to pay the man $100 million.
Well, we don't have that, but so I'm asking people. Everybody's talking about fixing the trenches. So does anybody want to give up that pick number 24 for Trey Smith now that he's been franchise tagged by the Chiefs? No? Okay. Y'all apparently don't want to fix the trenches that bad.
Right. I'm probably a no, but I'm considering it, and it'd be one of those things where if we don't end up fixing the line, that I'm gonna regret not doing it. Like I'm gonna look back and regret that we didn't do it. Yeah. So I'm saying no. I'm not gonna do it with faith that we are gonna sign another guard that's gonna help fix the situation. But if we don't, I'm like, man, it would have been nice if we just trade that first and didn't have to worry about free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Because we might be able to draft the guard in the draft and get Trey Smith. Or we could just go get Trey Smith.
Yeah, I think that those guards are going to be flying off the board. It's going to dwindle the amount of guards that are going to be out. The good guards that are going to be out there because they're going to be dudes franchise tagging. There's going to be guys resigning with their old team. So everybody I like when the free agent list comes out. We're like, oh, we want this, we want that, we want this. Right. You got to realize that number is going to shrink. Because teams are going to want to resign their boys, especially.
And we're going to be stuck with like the top free agents are going to be Will Hernandez and Zeitler.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have the same. Then we're going to have the same offensive line that we had in 2024, like I've been telling you.
Zeitler might resign with Detroit. So.
Ain't that right, Fish?
Same problems. Vikings fans.
Man, it's a crazy guy that would state that.
I mean, yeah.
I hope he's crazy. What up, E?
When's the last time? Do guards get normally drafted in the first round? Like,
no.
If they're elite, they have to be elite.
Yeah. It's not a common thing.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we do hopefully sign a high-priced guard this year that's going to change our line. And Kwesi came out and vowed to go hard in free agency. He was interviewed, and he said that, he understands the situation. He understands they need to get better, and they need to get better in multiple spots. So he also understands he needs an extension because he's playing on, his contract year.
His job depends on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you guys believe him when he says this? Do you think he'll actually go out there and spend, or is he still going to be out there trying to pick up hidden gems?
I think he will go out there and spend, but if he does spend, he's got to look at how far those contracts go out, because in 2027, there's 3 big names with huge, massive cap hits that are coming, and a quarterback that possibly could get re-signed on our team after, because he'll be sitting in that 3rd year of his rookie contract, right? It's when rookies start talking about they want a contract, or, so if J.J. McCarthy's any good, that goes up. You're looking at Jefferson on the 3rd year, 2027. You're looking at a huge contract cap hit. Darrisaw, huge cap hit. Then you got to re-sign Greener too if you want him back.
Grenard.
Yeah, Grenard. So it's going to be a little difficult situation. If he can do it, yeah, he should be the GM for this team for a long time.
But is it difficult though, because he's on his final year of his contract? He ain't thinking about 2027 at all.
I know. So I wonder how these contracts are going to go. If it's going to be like a Spielman mess again when he gets booted out the door, and we owe all these players all this dead cap money. So
might as well spend it.
Spend it now, and we're stuck.
That sounds like a tomorrow Kwesi problem, assuming he gets signed.
Exactly. Spend it now and then worry about the cap later.
It's funny. We're in the same situation over and over and over again.
So, is there anything we could do during free agency that would make you say, "Man, we need to sign Kwesi to this extension," even before we see what happens in the draft? Like, is there a scenario where that happens?
He fixes the trenches in free agency.
That's
If he can manage to nail down 2 high quality guards and 1 to 2 really good defensive tackles, if he can nail that down in free agency to where the draft is all right, we can trade back, we can get some more pieces, we can go for maybe defensive back or something that effect. But he has to do a lot in free agency to overrule his shortcomings at the draft, because the draft is long term. But I'd be willing to allow him to buy some time if he just strokes that pen and makes some magic happen.
It's just funny. I really have no doubt that they're going to. Like, and I don't know why, as a Viking fan, I would believe that, but I do. I just do, yo. Like, I don't know why, but I believe. I mean, there's only 6 teams that have more cap space than us, and I think we're in a better position. Yeah, I get the life cycle of a Viking fan, but we're in a better position than all the teams ahead of us with cap space, except maybe the Commanders. I mean, that they might be like kind of there with us. They had a better season playoff wise, but we're a destination place now, and that's according to the NFLPA survey, where we rank number 2 again. So that's 2 years in a row that we rank number 2. And the thing about that is we rank number 1 the whole NFL for treatment of families and the locker room. What's important to a free agent when they're going to a new place? How's this going to be for my family? What's that locker room like? So Kwesi's got, some help here because of what the ownership has done to put him in this position. Those are going to be huge selling points. We're 2nd in strength coaching and training staff. We're 3rd in team travel, head coach, and ownership. This is all huge selling points. The only reason that they're in 2nd is because of nutritionist, and they got a B+ in that. So these are selling points to free agents. There's no doubt, and we have money. There's no doubt we're gonna have a good free agency. This should be easy for Kwesi to keep his job. So Robbie doesn't agree that this is a big deal. What do you think, Jack? Do you think coming in 2nd and being ranked so high in these are something that free agents pay attention to?
I mean, right now, I haven't been to Minnesota, so don't crucify me, anybody who lives in Minnesota. But I think it's very important that we have all these high standards for the facilities, because you kind of got to factor in what makes a player wants to come here. They want to make sure their family is treated well. They want to make sure the food in the area is good. They want to make sure the training facilities is good. And we're ranked top 3 in all those amenities. So, yeah, Minnesota's not good for weather and all that good stuff. But when it comes to football and taking care of the players and the fans, Minnesota's at the top of it. So I feel like it's important.
What do you think, Fish? You think that's going to help us? If someone's in between teams, that could be the push.
I'm going to use a little anecdotal evidence.
Oh, I expect it.
A couple of years ago, I actually seriously interviewed for a position with another company. And the entire interview was them talking about the benefits. And they were some rocking benefits and some stuff I'd never even heard of before. And it was amazing what they presented to me. And then we talked salary. And they couldn't meet my salary needs. And I said, I'm sorry. It's the bag. The bag is the number one. First and foremost, it's the bag. It's the what you're going to pay them. And after you've come to an agreement on what you're going to pay them and they think it's acceptable, then all this other stuff matters.
Yeah. So
like
I said, we have the 7th most cap space, so we have the bag. And I said, do you think this would help push if he's choosing between two teams?
It could, but I mean, there's other factors too. For example, if we're going against a team in Florida or even Tennessee, where they get to keep more of their money because there's no state income tax, there's other things. Mm-hmm. Now, if we're going against a comparable money-wise and we've got the better facilities, it might. But you have to get to – I agree, we've got some money, but we got to get there first.
I don't
Joe Biden could have
I don't think the facilities even matter. I think if you're going after free agents and they're like, let's say young, right? I think, yeah, maybe they go to a better coach. I think the coach is probably the biggest one. They want to learn from a really good defensive coach, offensive minded culture. But if you're trying to get dudes towards the end of their careers and they can help you win a championship, they are elite caliber style players still, like Calais Campbell. I think it's where am I going to retire, all right, and how much money can I get off this team before I retire for it. I think we had to go.
Dakota, you're worrying about 2027, so you don't care about a player that's going to retire next year.
Hey, I'm just telling you, man.
I don't know. I think okay. I mean, no, that's fine what you're thinking, but I don't agree with you. So I'm going to fight back. I'm going to fight back because I think this is huge.
I didn't yell at you with your dumbass take, but yeah, we can keep going.
What was my dumbass take?
I don't know. Sometimes I had.
Yeah, you don't even know. You don't even know. You're just talking.
I think he's referring to Sam Darnold not being franchise tagged.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's the dumb take of that conversation.
Come back. Facilities matter. What Fish said is the money. It's always the money. Well, who gives a fuck what kind of weight, what Gold's Gym you got in your training facility? I mean, they probably got a $2 less 45-pound plate over there, so it doesn't matter. I think the biggest thing would be coaching and money.
We actually do have a quarterback one, and we don't have a nice cafeteria. Thanks for paying
your
attention,
second
Robbie.
favorite college team, Robbie.
Yeah.
I mean, when Randy Moss,
Alex, why is this past tense?
He complained about the food, so I'm pretty sure the players do kind of care about the food.
They just said they wanted more options. That was the biggest complaint. They wanted more options. They were tired, just like steak and eggs every day.
Oh man, steak and eggs every day. Oh man.
I think you're crazy.
Joking about heading up there, but now I'm serious.
I'm crazy if you think this doesn't affect them, their decisions. Like I don't think if a team's offering a guy, $7-8 million more a year, okay, yeah, it probably doesn't matter. But if we're going after top free agents and we know what that asking price is and we're willing to meet that asking price, we're gonna win.
Well, give me a top free agent first. When's the last one we had? Was Jared Allen?
No, he was a trade.
Oh, see, yeah. When's the last the top guy in free agency that we signed?
I don't know. Yeah. Kirk Cousins.
I don't know. We've been busy. We've been shedding contracts of the old administration. This is the first time that this administration's got some damn money. And they got a lot of it. And they got a lot of it because part of that reason that they got a lot of it is the salary cap went up to $279.2 million, which is $23.8 million more than last year. That's a player right there. Just the cap increase is a top free agent right there. And we already had money before this. That's Trey Smith right there. The salary cap went up one Trey Smith.
What did player contracts go up to with it?
Rising tide lifts all boats. So, Shaq, by the way, when we did sign Kirk Cousins, Shaq, didn't we give him the bag?
100%.
Oh, matter of fact, like Cody said, 100%. We gave him a full guarantee bag.
We did, but the Jets offered him more, but he came to Minnesota.
That's true too, Keith. The Jets did give him more, but he knew the Jets was ass, so he was like, "I can't go there."
So there's other factors besides money that weighs in. Money is number one. Get that? We all agree with that. But there's other factors that go into players' choices.
What's the tax rate in New York?
Shit.
Hi.
It's all about money.
So again, the Vikings are 7th in cap space, $63.3 million. They can potentially get up to like $80 million after they do some cuts and restructuring. Money is not a thing. Money is not an option to these guys, especially for a GM that's on the last year of his contract that's trying to save his job.
I agree.
He's not thinking
So,
about he's thinking about 3-4 years from now.
So Keith, when the legal tampering opens up, when they can start announcing who's getting ready to sign what's your patience? How many days is your patience for us to get that one that makes you say, hell yeah, we're in it to win it this offseason? I mean, one day for day one, day two, day three, how far are you going to wait before you're like, wait a minute?
You will know exactly how I feel when we go live on Wednesday, March 12th.
So
You'll know exactly how I feel.
We're talking about he don't care about spending money, right? And he's got to push contracts out to 2027. But if he can't do that, the contracts per year get bigger because he can only push them out for 2 years. So how many players can we actually really sign with $80 million?
Wait, what? Sorry, I was reading comments. People are laughing. I thought I missed something funny. What was that, Cody?
So let's I mean, he's not worried about what's going on in the future, right? Quessy, let's say that. But he has to sign players, and they have to be good. Those player contracts probably be big. But he only has he's not thinking about 2027. Then can he load up the cap hits in 2027? So that way we're only paying $5 million like we did with JJ for this year.
Absolutely. Like I told you, it's not a straight line. Like just because we have $63 million in cap doesn't mean we can only sign players to $63 million this season.
I mean, he can say it, but are the Wilfs gonna say it?
Yeah, he's auditioning for his job.
Can you imagine?
Can you like name one player who signed a big contract who took that cap hit in their first year? Because that doesn't happen.
No, I know, but then we're pushing into money into 2027.
But that's just the way it goes. Nobody plays on their cap hit their first year. Nobody.
We have 3 players taking 40% of the cap space.
You get void years, all kinds of. We're going to learn a lot about the cap next week, by the way. So
could you imagine if Quasey goes crazy in free agency and sets it up like thinking like the way we're talking, where he sets it up where 2027 is going to be this nightmare year, and the Wilfs are like, all right, here's your extension, and he's like, oh God, do I really want to deal with this in 2 years?
He's like, Rob, I'm gonna need you to work some magic.
Yeah, a lot.
What are the outs on these contracts that I signed?
I wish
he's gonna be like, our Super Bowl window is officially 25 and 26, and we're gonna be at bottom.
If we win it in one of those years, though, it won't matter.
Yeah, it won't even matter. I just wish I wish we could draft that way when those contracts come and you have a cut. Cut. Thank God we got this player from this draft that we had, this nice stellar draft. We don't have that.
You're also forgetting about restructures because we could always just restructure.
Yeah,
most of our players getting paid big money. I could see them getting restructured, like Christian Darrisaw, Justin Jefferson. They would restructure. It's going to cause them to get paid more money later in their career, but it's all about winning now.
Well, yeah, and then we'll push our Super Bowl window would open up 27 and 28 now because we got two void years in 29 and 30, right?
Just so long as we all understand that a restructure is not a pay cut.
Oh yeah, nah. That's why I didn't say a pay cut. That's exactly why.
Well, it's not a pay cut. It might actually end up costing us more because the biggest way for us to get money is to restructure Ryan O'Neal, and he has no guaranteed money right now. So it's like, they could restructure him by getting him to sign a new deal and putting some guaranteed money on him.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, we can get to like $80-90 million in this offseason if that's the way it's going. Like we got all these players that are willing to sign with us if we're willing to pay it. If you want 2 guards, you want 2 defensive tackles.
Yeah,
you want trenches. You gotta get trenches things, right, Shaq?
Right. My only thing is, I don't want to spend big money like how we did with Kirk Cousins because he was the big free agent that year. I don't want to just throw money at a guard just and hope he's going to be elite. I want that guard to actually be elite.
And I don't think we restructured.
Absolutely. Not on potential, right?
Not on potential.
Structure. It's his contract. He's a free agent 2027.
Who?
Brian O'Neill.
And that's probably about the time for him to go ahead and go.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say, 2022?
Fish, me and you aren't O'Neill's biggest fans, but we have to both admit it could be a freaking lot worse.
You could have Juwan Taylor.
We could have Cam Robinson.
Okay, I will concede it could be a lot worse.
My biggest gripe with O'Neal was he has a hard time blocking on screens.
Oh, that's your biggest gripe on O'Neal? Okay.
I mean, it should be the simplest thing for him to do. Like, as a tackle, you can't block a linebacker on a screenplay.
Alex, I don't have a lot of hate for O'Neal as a player. I just thought that extension he got was a little crazy because he was made like the top 3 highest paid tackle, and I just didn't see it at the time. I still don't see it, except for the fact that it's hard to have a good tackle, so I guess you get overpaid at that position. I just didn't like that first contract they signed him to.
Brian O'Neill.
I'll explain it this way, guys. This is a fishism. He's a 7 that was surrounded by 3s, so he looked like a 10.
Mm-hmm. Brian O'Neill said, "Fuck it," when we drafted Ed Ingram. He's like, "I'm done. I can't do it again. There's so many guards I played along with that haven't been any good."
If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow, so we do need the subscribes. Steven Watson, I saw you just did. Thank you. Another thing that could help improve our offensive line besides players that we could sign could be up in the coaching, which maybe we did and maybe we didn't. Vikings signed a new offensive line assistant coach, Keith Carter. Now, this guy definitely comes with some baggage, but I think it kind of fits to what KOC is trying to do with the offensive line. So he's known for being hard on his players. He's been heavily criticized in the media, and a lot of times when he gets criticized in the media, it's reposted and liked by players, which, it's not necessarily a good thing. But he's been part of very successful teams. He was the offensive line coach for Tennessee when Derrick Henry was running wild. He was just a offensive line coach for the Jets, and they had a good running game despite how bad they were. So the guy can coach. He's just not very good with the players that could tend to be hard on them, right, Fish?
Yeah, and that could be a problem because one of the players that I was pretty warm on has already played for him, has failed under him, and was one of the players that retweeted the complaint on him. So any thoughts of getting a nice value maybe in Mekhi Becton is probably over. So yeah, I think we're going to get somebody who don't know him very well, and we might suffer in our grade next year from the NFLPA because of him.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, he's not the offensive line coach. He's the assistant, and I get, he could still be an asshole in that position. KOC made it clear he wants to toughen up that line. So, when you're not behaving, sometimes this is what happens. You get
he gets to be the heavy, but it might make a couple of our potential prospects balk at the idea of coming to play for us now.
No, that's definitely the other side of the coin.
I mean, I like the PFF grades for the run game. Like you mentioned, the Jets and the Titans run game was better when he was there. And what did we really struggle with? Having a consistent run game. So if he could help balance our offensive line run blocking, then I'm all for it. I kind of really don't care what our offensive line players think because right now they're not consistent. I can understand they're all playing at an elite level consistently, but when they're not playing at an elite level consistently, and then we got a rotation going on in the interior offensive line, then I'm all for whatever makes this offensive line play better.
So Keith, I got to backtrack on what I just said. because it absolutely contradicts what I said about the NFLPA grading. Give them the bag. It don't matter who our coach is.
So his
Being a little facetious there.
he made the Jets PFF offensive line go up.
The run blocking.
Weren't they? Someone just posted they were 31st last year. Like, so they went up from 32nd to 31st. That's not bad.
Probably overall, but their run blocking went up. I'm not talking about their passing, just their run game.
I like Jason's comment here. But, I mean, in a way, though, it's kind of what we try to get away from with Zimmer. But I don't know. I think KOC's kind of saw that he needs a little bit of muscle behind him because he can't be that guy. He says he wants to be that guy. He tries to be that guy, but he's not that guy. And the guy has had success. It just he hasn't dealt with players very well. So, yes, I can see this going both way, either way. I really can. I can see this end up being a great thing, like great move. But I have to trust in KOC. KOC, interviewed this guy, talked to this guy, believed that this was the right move for the team. So I'm okay with it.
And he hired Flores, and players want to come play for Flores. So
that's true. Even after Tua.
Mm-hmm.
So just want to get that one out the way. But a little clickbaity stuff here. Jonathan Allen he was granted permission to seek out a trade. And then Minnesota sports writer Doogie came out and said he would love to play here. Didn't really say anything about Jonathan Allen specifically, why he wanted to play, just saying, they've built a great culture here and he's looking for more money. The Vikings have money. So basically what you would say about any player would love playing here for. But that got Viking fans in a frenzy thinking, hey, maybe we should go after Jonathan Allen. What do you guys think? He's 30 years old right now, but he's still considered one of the better defensive tackle pass rushers. He missed like 8 games last year, but came back from an injury, still played pretty well. I don't know. It scares me a little bit that he's 30. He's making $15 million next season. Obviously, he's asking for the trade because he wants to be paid more. I'm thinking he wants to be paid closer to 18 and 20 million and maybe get a couple years guaranteed. Would you guys be willing to swing one of these trade for him? It's not going to be a first rounder. It might be a 5th rounder. You just got to pay the guy. Cody, you're muted.
I would be, because you got to look at the defensive line. We don't need a run defensive tackle, run stuff and defense tackle. Our run defense has been really good, right? We're top 5 last year, right? All we need is one guy for interior pressure. So you're looking at, okay, you got Jonathan Allen out here. You trade for a 5th. You got to pay him a little bit of money, right? Or do you sign 2 defensive tackles, right? In what are you going to go after? I would go after Jonathan Allen because he is no shit that pass rusher up the middle. I don't need a guy that is, okay, he's pretty good at pass rushing, but he's really good at run defense. I don't need run defense this year. I need pass rush defense. So I'd go after Jonathan Allen.
He destroyed Kirk that game we played in Washington in 2022 and it was on that quarterback show on Netflix. So, I mean, that's a plus.
That wasn't him. That was the other guy.
Was it?
No, the guy that broke his ribs was not Jonathan Allen. It was, I think he was a rookie that year. Oh God, I can't believe his name's escaped me, but it wasn't Jonathan Allen. I don't actually believe that there's a lot of fire to this smoke because, Keith, one of the 5 teams that's in better cap shape than us going into the season is the Washington Commanders. So we have money, and guess what? So do they. So, and considering how
why do they say that he can go ahead and seek a trade?
Do we believe that he actually wanted it and they wanted to do it? Maybe he's a cancer in the clubhouse. I don't know. Because if it's more money, they have the option. They have the ability to pay him. They're in better shape than we are. They made a deeper run in the playoffs than we did. They're in a better situation than we are going into this season right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like
I could buy your cancer thing, but I can't buy they're in a better position to sign him than we are because they're letting him go ahead and seek out trades instead of meeting his demands right now when they don't have to go against anybody.
I just find it weird. It's like Myles Garrett. It came out that he wanted a trade, and then Cleveland's like, no, we have all intended purposes to keep him. I think this is the same thing.
So this is just a nothing. You don't think nothing comes out of this?
I don't feel like there's anything there.
I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be cut. So we probably should sign him as a free agent.
That's a totally different take.
Oh, I'm just waiting for him to be cut.
But then we're fighting for him like all the other free agents when we could just get him for like a 5th round draft pick.
One got 2 of those.
Yeah, most teams only got 1.
Half our draft is in the 5th round.
For now.
Awesome.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into You Got Stumped. Fish, why don't you tell the people what You Got Stumped is?
Well, for those of you who are living under a rock and haven't seen You Got Stumped, it's our Minnesota Vikings trivia game. I go one-on-one with somebody. I give them a topic. It's usually either a season, a player, and I've even done a game. And I give them a certain amount of clues and give them a certain amount of guesses. If they can get it right, they won. If not, they got stumped. It's fun. I'm looking for people to play it with me. And I keep it within your fandom. You tell me you've been a fan since 1991. I'm not going to ask you about the 1975 Vikings. So let's get into it, man. This was a fun one. The incomparable Nick James, baby. To another edition of Let's Skol's You Got Stumped, the Minnesota Vikings trivia game. Today, I got with me the legendary Nick James. He's a long-term listener, watcher, and joiner of our podcast. He's been with us since we were back just on Facebook. And appreciate you playing with me, Nick. Your topic today is, what player is this? And you got to guess the player, and I'm going to give you 8 clues. You're going to have 3 guesses. Let's get into it. First clue. I played for the Vikings for 2 seasons, 07 and 08.
Got it.
Next clue. I played in all 32 games of the regular seasons, and I started 26.
Any guesses in the comments?
Give you another one. My stat line for those 2 years was 107 receptions for 1,292 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I think I might have one. It wasn't Robert Ferguson, was it?
Robert Ferguson? One down.
Not a bad shot.
All right, that's 3 clues, 1 guess. Clue number 4. I wore number 19. Robbie. Your next clue. I was released by the Vikings only 3 days before the 09 season opener.
Oh, this is a good one. I don't know yet.
Sorry. Just kind of letting you try to work it out. Believe me, if we get to run too long, Keith will edit some stuff out. All right. I played college for 4 years for the University of Arizona from 99 to 02.
Oh, Bobby Wade.
You got it!
Where's the confetti?
Bobby Wade. Nick James got me. 4-1. Awesome. Congratulations. You're the first one to get me.
I pulled that one out of my butt.
The last two clues were going to be, I was drafted by the Bears in 03. I was released by the Bears late 05, picked up by the Titans, whom I also played for 06.
That's right. Good old Bobby Wade.
Bobby Wade, you are awesome, Nick. Congratulations.
Thanks, buddy.
That's pretty
How
good.
about that?
That's pretty good.
And he got it on the college clue.
Mm.
Man.
Looking back about that, like were we in Vikings wide receiver purgatory, or we just we didn't have a quarterback because Brett Favre came in the next year when Wade was gone.
Well, yeah, because we have Percy, didn't we? Or Percy came in 2009 with Favre. I don't remember.
He came with Favre.
Yeah, he came with Favre
and Sidney Rice.
Yeah.
One of the
Bobby
comments Nick
fucking
made to me
Wade.
after
Well, we also had Bernard Berrien, who had the 99-yard touchdown with Gus Farrat.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we weren't in purgatory. We just didn't have a superstar. We had Sidney Rice and Berrien.
Yeah,
and then Wade was like a wide receiver 3.
Sidney Rice,
and Sidney Rice wasn't. He wasn't Sidney Rice yet. He was Sidney Rice till Favre came.
Yeah.
And the thing is like Nick said after we shut off the recording was, he said, "Oh yeah, that's right. We kind of went through a thing where we just took on Bears receivers.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, Marcus Robertson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, there was that little string where we were just taking Bear cast-off receivers, and yep.
I thought we were gonna get Alshon Jeffrey, and we didn't.
107 receptions in 2 years as a wide receiver 3 is pretty freaking good.
I haven't known
you see, he started 26 games, Cody. He was wide receiver 2 for a while.
Oh yeah, Roma Shadu, we had him too.
He had to be wide receiver 1 because Sidney Rice wasn't healthy. So who was our other receivers?
Berrien. Bernard Berrien.
Anybody's sadness about being a fan of their football team. You just see the fucking wide receivers we named off for this team. We had to live through it for 6 years.
Bro, we lived through Randy Moss, Chris Carter, Justin Jefferson. Like, come on now.
But we died for a good.
No, we had slow periods. Like that's some teams like just regularly that they've never had a Randy Moss. They never had a Chris Carter. They never had a Stephon Diggs.
Was that the guy named Michael Jenkins?
We had Michael Jenkins and Jerome Simpson. Yes, we did.
Jerome Simpson. Great. Oh, he could do it.
Rice was good for us with Favre.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Arsenal.
Favre got Rice paid.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Johnson. I know you guys remember him.
Yeah, the bleach blonde hair.
I did this exercise when we were talking about not being able to win a Super Bowl with the receiver being paid so much. The year that the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl, Sidney Rice was the top paid wide receiver in the league, and he was out for half the year. He wasn't even playing in the Super Bowl. But he was number 1, El Numero Uno. Thank you, Brett Favre.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a good one, Fish. Hopefully you get back on track on the next one. I know you did one with Emiliano. I haven't had a chance to watch that one yet. I usually don't watch it until the night before the show when I try to edit it up for the show. So hopefully you get your redemption.
Yeah, I can't lose 2 in a row. I can't live with that. If I lose 2 in a row, I might have to call the segment.
I agree.
By the way, I want somebody to play with. I need somebody that's willing to play Let's Get Stumped tomorrow.
You want someone to play with your stump tomorrow. That's all I heard.
What? I know who I'm going to play Let's Get Stumped with tomorrow. Robbie Nolan. Robbie, get ready, buddy. We're playing Let's Get Stumped tomorrow.
One of the hints,
that's gonna be a 12-minute clip.
One of the hints is going to be he did not play for Alabama.
Nick Dobson. Nick, I'm about to send you a message. Check your messenger on Facebook. I'm going to send you a message so I can establish contact with you.
Hashtag no Diddy.
That's Nick. That's the one who just beat you.
No, it isn't. Nick James is.
I'm pretty sure that's him.
Is that the same Nick?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's YouTube. Okay, my bad.
He wants a rematch. He wants a rematch. He's like all or nothing.
Steven, I don't know. Vikings didn't waste Cordell Patterson. They put him in this, didn't put him at running back for a fucking year. Like, I mean, he's still kick return for the Falcons and everybody else he went.
Same.
And he was good for us on a kick return.
Well, that's the thing. They did start off using him like a running back and running routes out of the backfield, and he did really good. And then he just stopped doing it. Like, no, you're going to be on the outside and you're going to run routes, damn it.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way they kind of wasted him because they didn't use him to his strength. Like, they were determined to try to make him a wide receiver.
Yeah.
What a draft class that was for us. We had 3 first-round picks, and I guess Xavier Rhodes is the one who worked out, sort of.
He's got a beef with him.
He got all pro.
Yeah.
Keith, if you guys don't know in the chat, Keith and Xavier Rhodes have a little Twitter beef.
Love me some Xavier Rhodes, man.
We'd love to get
All
him
roads closed. I don't think that's going to happen, Fish. So going on right now is the NFL Combine. I don't know if you guys in the chat are interested in the Combine. It's, you know, a bunch of college players in their underwear going and trying to show off their skills. Well, at least it used to be. Now it's half of the players showing off their skills because a lot of them are opting out. But are you guys going to be watching the Combine over the next couple of days?
Yep.
No, I got work.
Sucks.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah. I might watch the 40 just to see if someone breaks the 40-yard dash record, but
Hey, Keith, just real quick, the guy I was thinking of was Deron Payne.
hey,
Deron Payne's
okay.
the one that crushed Kirk Cousins.
yeah, that's a Bama boy. That's a Robbie.
There you go.
That's a Robbie boy.
Boyd, who stood out to you today running the 40 yards? Michael Fish, did anybody stand out to you? Because I know you watched a little bit today, Fish. I really haven't got to watch yet. I mean, I have it on in the background, but I can't really pay attention.
The kid from Toledo, which I'm sure Robbie will be excited about if we draft a guy from Toledo. He loves those guys that just kind of peek out. And the other
Darius?
thing the other one that I liked is not even showing up on PFF's draft board, and that's the monster kid from Iowa. I'm going to butcher his name, but it's Jaye or something.
Yeah.
Yaye, yep.
Just call
He's
him
like
Yay.
6'3" and 345 pounds. So late draft pick, early, UDFA, something like that, and just a big fat kid. And I love big fat kids.
Yeah, deep
I'm going to watch.
or some shit.
I'm interested in seeing the running backs because it's not often, we are in a position to go ahead and need to draft a running back. And I don't care how you value the position. That's one of the most exciting positions in sports is running back. And then next to that's the wide receiver to me. So anytime you're in position to be able to draft one of the top ones, that's exciting to me. And I do think we're in a position to draft one of the top 5 running backs. So I still don't know who the top 5 are. So I'm kind of interested to see them, but I'm worried that a lot of them aren't even going to participate as well. What do you guys think about that? About them not participating? What do you think about players not participating in the Combine?
I don't think it hurts them as much this year because the players that aren't participating are the ones that are going to go early, in my opinion, no matter what. Because the draft, it's someone saying Schefter said it. The picks are good at 10 as if they are at 35 because they know from 1 through 10, 10 best players are coming off the board. Like even that guy from Penn State, he has a stress fracture in his foot. Might not even be ready to begin the season, but he's still consensus number 1 overall pick still. So, and what you said about running back, I think Kwesi drafting a running back in the first round is what's going to save his job.
You think first round?
I think so because who gets the ball? Who touches the ball a lot? The running back. If the running back does well and he becomes a bona fide superstar, what did that do for Kwesi? Because no one really sees those defensive tackles. Is a defensive tackle you drafting a D tackle in the first round going to save your job? No, he's good, but that's not what scores points. NFL is a point-driven league. We want to see points on the board. So if you get an electrifying running back, i.e. J&T, Caleb Johnson, and they do well for you, and ownership sees that might save his job.
Robbie, you don't watch college football. You let your wife pick your team. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, yeah.
Abdul Carter, represented by Drew Rosenhaus. I don't know why we're talking about him, Boyd. We would not be in position to draft this man, and he's not even going to be participating. He might be going through surgery.
Yeah,
He might be having surgery.
I think we're a couple of years away from the combine becoming a flag football game, like the Pro Bowl. I mean, just get rid of it. If the players aren't going to participate, get rid of it. Do pro days. I mean,
Do you think maybe it should only be for guys who aren't expected to go in the first and second round or something like that? Maybe
yeah, I feel like we
guys?
had this conversation last year, and maybe it's just, but without the specter of being able to possibly see a top draft pick, I feel like the viewing's going to tank, and they're just going to get rid of it altogether. All right, let me throw this bone out to you, Robbie. I also think a possibility for us to get into late rounder UDFA is Cameron Robertson, the kid from Florida. He's like 6'6" and 350. So I wouldn't be mad at him either. That's an SEC school. Are you okay with that, Robbie?
He was okay with Big Ten, he said.
Yeah, but I mean, he really likes SEC.
Yeah, so I'll be watching over the next 3 days just to kind of see who's out there. I really want to see the running backs. Is there anything that you guys wish that they did in the combine that they don't do that might give you some more perspective? Do you wish we could watch the interviews? I wish we could watch the interviews. Deadlifts and squats. You've been on that train for a while, and you ain't going to stop until they do it.
I'd like to see a running backs do sled drags. Like forward running sled drags. You keep adding the weight and how much weight can they push? Because what is that representing? It's representing a tackler on you or you pushing a pile, right? And I'd like to see that happen more for running backs. And for like defense alignment and offense alignment, I would make it like one-on-ones, right? Winner, whoever wins this round moves on to the next, like a tournament style. And then that determines, like, you might have a 6-rounder out there no one's looking at, but he just exploded up on this top 10 talent like he was nothing one-on-one.
So you won't get them in pads?
Now, not even pads. I mean, they can grab, rip, and throw on the ground all they want. They can throw dudes on the ground, get away from them to block them. I want to see who is the meanest fucking trench dude that is in this draft, and that's the guy I'll be going after. Like Mortal Kombat.
Not bad. But like I said, I would like to see the interviews because kind of see where a guy's head's at, try to evaluate him that way.
Mm-hmm.
Let me grab a beer before we jump into this next segment, which is the meat of the show.
All right, shirts off, boys. We got to kill some time.
Hey, how many tank tops do we have today?
Oh, damn.
How many tap-out shirts? 0. How many flat brims? 1.5. Someone's parlay got messed up. An MMA cage fight, Alex says. I like Alex's ideas. He wants to see an MMA cage fight and a log throwing contest. I wouldn't mind seeing like I wouldn't mind seeing a basketball game. Because like how often do we see how often do we see like, you know, a guy ball out and then we see his high school basketball clips and like he's a baller. Like look at Cooper DeJean. That was one that we saw this year. Like, I don't know. I think a lot about a guy who can play basketball could play on the field too. Even they showed Sam Darnold's highlight clips. Sam Darnold was a baller.
Hey, no one's been good in basketball in Iowa since Harrison Barnes and Kirk Heinrich. So like,
but he's out.
hey, Cooper DeJean's brother is a four-star recruit in basketball in Iowa right now.
Mm-hmm.
So don't say nobody. And Cooper DeJean, like, I mean, I'm not saying I went to his games and saw him play basketball, but I saw his highlight clip. They're pretty sick.
You know what? Let's keep it simple. Let's do positional arm wrestling tournaments.
Arm wrestling. Then you just end up getting a guy who's super strong but got no skill. But Fish just wants a strong brute. That's all. And I'm not mad. I
murder people.
I just want a fat guy.
Yeah.
What the hell? All right. So this week we're going to go through the cornerbacks and safeties in free agency who the Vikings could be targeting. And I do think they do come away with at least one cornerback or safety. And I'm not talking like a Fabian Moreau. Like, I think they actually do get a first wave cornerback or safety, depending on what happens with Cam Bynum and Harrison Smith. For sure, a cornerback, though, because right now, was it just Mekhi Blackman and why is his name escaping me?
McLovin.
They're the only two on the Nudie. There you go. The only two on the roster right now. So I do think we are going to sign a cornerback during the first wave. The first cornerback, we know this guy, Byron Murphy Jr. So by all accounts, he had a pretty good season. And it seems like everybody's only judging him off of last season and not really looking at anything else. So he's scheduled to make $17 to $21 million. How you guys feeling about that?
I feel like he wants the bag because he knows that his career is not that long. He probably got maybe 3 years left at being at his best, his peak. So he figures he needs to get as much money as he can now. And he did play like a top 20 cornerback this year. And we can't really take that from him. So I can't fault him for winning all this money. It's just I'm on the fence. I don't know if I want to bring him back or not.
Yeah, I don't fault him for wanting the money either, and I don't fault him for chasing it because it's reported that he's not willing to take a hometown discount to stay in Minnesota. And I'm not mad about that, but I kind of question teams that are willing to pay that. Cody, you're muted.
I want to know what the cap hit would be for him if he does. I mean, if he does resign with us, that'd be my biggest thing going forward with him.
Well, this year it'd probably be like 12 million, but in 2027, Cody, it's probably gonna be like 25 million.
Well, Questy don't have to worry about it. He ain't gonna have a job. So, I mean, if you're gonna do it that way, if Questy's gonna do it that way, yeah, re-sign him. And I would also re-sign another cornerback. And I would put.
I agree, but I've said this many times.
I put Byron Murphy on the slot where he belongs. That is his best spot on the field, is that slot position.
All right, so what Quasey needs to do to open up the negotiations with him is show him that report card that we got from the NFLPA and explain to him in depth how we got all those high grades and we're the second best team. And then tell him, look, you're not going to have it any better than you got here, so you should take a discount. And that should work.
I honestly think we do re-sign him because we're losing nickelbacks. We're losing Cam Bynum, right? Harrison Smith's going to be gone, so Metellus, he could be gone. Metellus might have to move into that strong safety position. So there's no nickelback on the field at all for us right now at this point in moment. We have no nickelbacks. So he is a strong candidate that's going to get re-signed because he can play that nickelback in that slot.
We don't even have outside cornerbacks right now.
We don't have corners, Cody.
We have one outside corner. Are you going to sign two nickels?
I mean, we could sign one that's not $20 million.
Hey, nickelbacks go for a lot of money.
You know, the thing is I think we're going to resign him just based on the philosophy that, historically speaking, we do not do wholesale changes on our team. We're going to have a couple of free agents, and we're going to be retaining a bunch of people. So I have a feeling that there's going to be a deal worked out where we're going to say, that contract's not that bad, but he's still getting paid.
Yeah, he's like TJ Hawkinson.
I think he's gone.
He might be.
Because we're going to go through this list and we're going to see guys, you know, that had seasons that are just as good as him without the 6 interceptions thrown to them. And we can get 2 of them for just a little more than the price of 1 of him. And we need multiple cornerbacks. Even if we draft one, we still need multiple.
Yeah, we still need 2 nickels regardless. 1 at safety, 1 at corner.
Well, there's a lot of safeties in this draft that do play multiple positions, and they're going to be cheaper than Cam Bynum, which is interesting. DJ Reed's the first one.
That's my guy.
I like DJ Reed. I was hoping that we would have traded for him, you know, during the deadline. Then we wouldn't have to worry about this because we could just re-sign him, but that didn't happen. So we gotta do. But I think we should go get him. Age 28 does kind of scare me because I do think the cliff for cornerbacks is about 30 years old. So I'm not looking to get this guy like a 4-year contract. I'm honestly looking for that 2-year deal. 2-year deal.
What happens in 2 years?
The cliff.
The cliff. Let's go.
So I take him for 2 years. He's a sticky. He's man coverage. I like that. People are going to see the 0 interceptions and say, what the hell? But what's crazy when I was going through all these cornerbacks, man, if you had 3 interceptions as a cornerback, you balled. But he didn't have the interceptions, but he also wasn't getting thrown at because he was covering his man. He also had, 9 pass breakups. So, I mean, if he could make all those interceptions, he'd probably be a wide receiver. But this is a guy who played good man coverage. He only gave up 120 yards after the catch all season, which means the catches were in front of him, and he wasn't letting him get by him. And this is the kind of cornerback that's going to allow our rush to get to the quarterback. So I like DJ Reed a lot. I know a lot of teams do. This one's going to be tough.
I think he ends up back in New York.
I don't think so because they got Sauce and they signed their other cornerback. What was his name? I can't remember his name, but they signed the other.
What was his name?
No, they signed him to a big deal.
I guess Reed is out. I mean, I wouldn't mind Reed. We need somebody.
Kind of a little short for what you guys have been asking for in a defensive back, ain't he?
Well, he's going to be sliding in that nickel or a slot role. We need 2 of them. That's what Florida's defense is all about. If you get Florida's defense, I don't know why you laughing.
2 nickels.
That's what we run. If we had Byron Murphy out there, he's a nickel playing outside corner. That's what he wants. That's how his defense is.
I think Jay Ward could
Jay Ward. Are we really banking on Jay Ward?
Yeah.
You said the same thing about Cam Bynum. You said the same thing about Cam Bynum.
Well, then I'll keep saying it because it worked out.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather stick with Cam Bynum and then add DJ Reed.
What's up, Bob? DJ Reed's probably at the top of my list outside the trenches. For anybody that we can go out and sign is probably DJ Reed. And then, after the trenches. Trenches are most important. Can't stress that enough. I know everybody agrees with that. But outside of there, DJ Reed.
My only thing on DJ Reed would be the relationship between him and Jefferson, how it was during the games that we played against the Jets.
He's a little handsy.
He's a little handsy, so.
Little?
But you're talking about the best wide receiver in the world. So I'll forgive him.
No, I'm saying how they were fighting on the field almost.
Good, passionate, aggressive. I like it. Next one, we got Travis Ward, who by all accounts had a down season last year, but he also did lose a child. So, probably wasn't in his right headspace the whole time. But he was a top 10 press coverage corner the previous, 2 or 3 seasons, which can't stress it enough. That's what I want for the Florida's defense. We need man press coverage. You agree with that, Shaq?
Yeah, we do.
It's okay if you don't.
No, I do. I
Tell
was just
me,
thinking of Derek Stingley, but yeah, we do.
I honestly think we do want to improve our defensive line, but if we can improve the cornerbacks and get them to play man coverage, then our defensive line might actually be fine, especially with our edge rushers of Ginkel and Grenard and Dallas Turner coming up. I think we could be fine if we could just solidify the corners with man coverage cornerbacks, and that's actually a cheaper way to go. Now, we can get Reed and Travis Ward for a couple million more than we're going to pay Byron Murphy.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to say.
I'd
rather do that.
Because we don't even know if Mekhi Blackman is going to be the same player, right? He coming off a significant injury. We just watched T.J. Hawkinson come back off a significant injury. He wasn't the same player. And I've been saying that's a significant injury. You don't know what kind of player you're going to get back from him. So.
Right. We don't know.
Mm-hmm. So I
we're optimistic.
Yes.
But this is why, like, I'm kind of out on Byron Murphy because I'm seeing these other guys who I think might actually be a better fit for Brian Flores' defense. They're going to cost a fraction of what Byron Murphy might get in free agency. Even if we only got Ward or DJ Reed, one of them, they're going to be like $7 to $8 million cheaper. So those are the top two options of cornerback. Next is Russell Douglas, who he's even closer to that age cliff.
Next.
But he's also a top 10 quarterback in press coverage. It'd be good to get him. He's played for the Packers. Get him going against them.
Was his best year with the Packers though? Then he kind of fell off.
I don't think he ever fell off except this season. This season wasn't a great season for him.
Oh, yeah. I want to pass on him. I thought he was also more of a zone corner. I'm just going to pass on Brazil.
No, he's a man. He's a man coverage cornerback.
You can go to the Cowboys.
I agree, Steven. That's what I'm saying. That's what's missing. If we get a press cornerback, then Brian Flores is probably getting the head coaching job next year. Carlton Davis III. So what I like about him is he can kind of play all over the field, and he's also good at stopping the run. So he's not just good at pass coverage. He's good at stopping the run. I think he's only allowed around like 58% of receptions, which that's close to elite. If you're around 50, 55, that's pretty elite. So he's like at 58% receptions. That's good for a man coverage. So I like Carlton Davis a lot, and we might even get him a little bit cheaper than the other guys.
Didn't he miss most of the season with a broken jaw last year? Was that him?
Yeah, he missed most of the season, and that Lions defense fell apart. When he came back, though, that Lions defense is like, even with all the injuries, he was a bright spot next to Brian Brandt.
He does have injuries. That the biggest knock on him is injuries. I don't think he's ever played a full season. He's very aggressive. He's a very aggressive cornerback. So that is a worry. But I do like Carlton Davis.
He's my DB1 in free agency.
He's your DB1?
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't be mad at it. Asante Samuel Jr.
Now we're talking.
Davis my DB1.
you already said you see you won. I like Asante. I mean, he's played very well in his 4 seasons, but he's only 25 years old. I love that. He's a good cornerback and he's young. And Cody, he could play the slot. He could do that for you.
And PFF
we need 2. We need 2, Keith. He can't play 2 nickels.
Oh, he can't play 2. He can only play 1.
Those PFF scores says he's mid though.
Are we going solely off
Cody?
What? I'm just going off. I said PFF scores, so and 31st ranked run defense or run offense.
So I guess he did have a little bit of fall off. You see his coverage grade this year was 58.6. Last year was 75.6.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a man coverage. I would say from everything I've seen, his biggest weakness is tackling, and that does scare me because we get mad every time a cornerback misses a damn tackle. We get mad. We got mad at Murphy a lot for that.
Not only that, his other weakness is like jump ball. Like if a receiver, like defending tall receivers in the jump ball situation, he can't really do nothing about it. Like that was his biggest gripe coming out of college.
And you were talking about the combine drills we wish to see. I wish to see form tackling in the Oklahoma drill in the combine. Because these dudes cannot fucking tackle anymore. I watched the whole season of us not tackling. It's all shoulder pads and grabbing with fingers. Next.
You're out? You're out on Asante?
No, if you can't tackle, I don't want him.
He's a cornerback.
Defense tackle.
I don't know if he's just wearing because he's wearing 26, but I don't know, maybe a little Antoine Winfield there. I don't know. But Antoine Winfield could definitely tackle, so yeah, you're right. Next. Nate Hobbs from the Raiders. Now this is a cheaper option.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, $4 to $6 million. He's young. He's a slot corner as well, Cody, and he's considered pesky. In 2021, he was a top-rated cornerback in the NFL. The last few seasons hasn't exactly been the same, but he's still held in high regard. Raider fans want him back. A lot of things I did on this was go look at what fans were saying about him. Raider fans want him back. And, the scores aren't great, but some teams just suck, man. And, it's hard to be good on a sucky team.
Yeah.
So, this would be like a second wave guy. Too bad it's not Calvin. Calvin Hobbs.
Oh my god. I mean, yeah, I would take Nate Hobbs. It wouldn't be a bad, cheap option. I mean, you don't know what you're getting out of Mekhi Blackman next year, so maybe this is the especially if you go heavy in the offensive line. This might be the next option next to that big corner you try to get also.
Paulson Adebo from the Saints, 25 years old. He got injured this season, unfortunately, because he was having a good year. And then after they traded away, what's his name? He went to the Commanders, their cornerback,
Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore went traded away. He would have been the cornerback one and really would have got to show his stuff. But in 4 years, he has 10 interceptions. He had 3 this year, even though he missed some games. I like his coverage grade. I don't like the run defense. I don't like that. That's pretty bad.
You say his run defense?
Yeah.
We're talking about cornerbacks, and y'all talking about defending the run.
Well, they got to seal the edge.
Yeah, they got to contain.
That's why you have
Gibbs.
That's why we have Grenard and Dallas Turner and Van Ginkel. They seal the edge.
Tell me.
Yeah,
I do like him, but 12 to 14 million kind of seems like a lot for potential. You're paying for potential here.
You're paying for 10 interceptions in 4 years is what you're paying.
He does have 10 interceptions in 4 years. He can play man and zone effectively.
And the problem with his his tackling grade is the wide receivers are getting bigger. Right? They're getting more physical and more stronger. If you can't tackle as a corner, you don't belong in the league anymore with the how these wide receivers are getting more physical. Especially with the flags. You ain't getting the pass. The offensive player's not going to get a pass interference. It's going to be you. So if you got a physical wide receiver on you, he's going to be physical with you. Refs are going to look at what you're doing as a scrawny little dude and try to watching you grab all the time. But a Debo he's 192 pounds. He should be physical.
He's 6'1", too. He's on the taller side.
Yeah, he should be a more physical corner.
Yeah, Skol full.
A run defense corner.
He's a physical corner.
Next, y'all gonna say, "Well, we can't get a running back if he can't block."
Yeah, or can't catch.
We have to throw CJ Ham in there to block for
us. We have to post. That's why CJ Ham stays on this damn team because our running backs can't block. So Christian Fulton, I think this one's kind of like a fan favorite. I think a lot of fans are in on Christian Fulton. Ooh. But I don't know if he's earned that salary. I'm sorry, I gotta be that guy every damn time. All this money.
That run grade, Keith. Of course he's earned that salary.
I like the run grade.
Him and Asante are leaving the Chargers.
They're both free agents. They also had a safety who I liked, but they ended up re-signing him. They didn't sign Fulton or Samuel yet.
Yeah, right.
How much is DJ Reed?
About the same. I'd rather have DJ Reed.
I don't see the hype with DJ Reed, but yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have DJ Reed because you don't have Derwin James at safety helping you out back
there. DJ Reed doesn't have interceptions. That's all he doesn't have. It's because he doesn't get targeted. He shuts down that side of the field. That's what we need. That gets the blitz there. That gets Grenard 18 sacks.
I don't know. I think Keon Coleman was killing him.
I'm going to take the player over the name here.
when did Keon Coleman kill him? Like he only gave up 2 touchdowns the whole season and 123 yards after the catch. When was he getting killed in between all that?
I don't know. I gotta go check the highlights.
You might have to. I like Christian Fulton, but I honestly thought he was going to end up being a lot cheaper. I thought he was going to be more like a $6 to $8 million guy. 12 to 14 kind of scares me.
Yes, Norse Fias, he has 9 PBUs. DJ Reed does.
DJ Reed does have 9.
And that's elite.
Nice fish. I like it. Nice sneak this. Christian Fulton has 16 interceptions over 5 seasons, so that's kind of nice.
Awesome.
Like it's crazy to me. Like cornerbacks having 3 or 4 interceptions in a season is like a big deal. I don't know if I was just young and don't remember correctly, but I feel like cornerbacks always had like 7 to 10 interceptions. Like if you have 3 or 4, you had a good season. Is that just how it is now, or is that how it's always been? Like I felt cornerbacks had more interceptions.
Depending on what quarterback is in your division.
Well, I mean, Byron Murphy led the whole NFL with 6. That's crazy to me. Like nobody had 10, nobody had 8.
Well, what's crazy when you get those numbers up into like we saw Trevon Diggs get 7 one year, right? But he also gave up over 1,000 receiving yards. We saw
right.
Cowboys cornerback get 11. He also gave up over 1,000 receiving yards. You know, like I don't want a cornerback like that because I mean, what are we not good at? Is taking the offense. We're stopping long, sustaining drives. We're just not good at it. We're opportunistic. We get the ball back, but do we always score with the ball? No. We have lulls on offense. Give me a guy that will shut everything down.
So I like what you're saying, Stephen Watson, about pair Fulton with DJ Reed, but how about we pair this guy with DJ Reed and the money works out to where we're paying less than Byron Murphy alone? Isaiah Rodgers.
That's a good name right here.
Isaiah Rodgers is a solid cornerback. He's been a solid cornerback every year he's played. He had a low snap count this year, and that wasn't due to injury. That was due to playing behind Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and CJ Chauncey Gardner. And he did miss the 2023 season. What's up?
So he lost his
That's
job.
your guy. He didn't lose his job. He came from the Colts. He signed with him this year as a free agent because he missed the 2023 season for the NBA. The NBA, I keep saying NBA, NFL's gambling policy, which he must have done something really bad because Jameson Williams only got 6 games and he missed the whole season.
But he played for the Eagles this year.
He did play for the Eagles this year.
See, that scares me. If every cornerback on the Eagles can be good, it's something else. Something else is good on that defense that makes those corners.
But he was good on the Colts. He was good on the Colts.
Yeah, I remember him from the Colts. What made them good was they got a defensive line that get pressure.
Yeah, there it is. I think it's the defensive line.
But we don't get pressure?
Not inside.
So it matters where it's coming from. We get pressure, but we don't get pressure from the right place.
If you're
which will make our corner.
If you're at $3 to $8 million, then you can spend money on an interior defensive lineman that gets pressure.
He's also a good run stopper. I like it. Now look, if we go out and this is the only cornerback we sign, I'm gonna like kind of be disappointed. But if we go out and get DJ Reed, or Travis Ward, and Isaiah Rodgers, I'm feeling pretty damn good about our DBs.
Mm-hmm. And how Flores wants to run defense, he wants fast speed. That's why he has that NASCAR package. And if you get guys that are 5'10" and 5'9" like DJ Reed and Isaiah Rodgers, I think that's what he's going for.
Yeah, I'm all in on getting Rodgers, especially at that price. If we can get him like 2 years, $12 million, and we get one of those other top cornerbacks, I think that is a success. And then we could draft one maybe, because we're gonna do the trenches in the free agency, no doubt about that. But yes, I like Isaiah Rodgers a lot. Another guy, the last guy we have a cornerback. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this guy, but it's not terrible. Mike Hughes.
No.
Ever heard of him?
No. Don't care.
I think I wanted him in the draft.
Is that an instant no?
It's a no. I didn't hear of him when he played for us, and I still can't even hear him when he played for other teams.
My only my only remembrance.
It looked like Deion Sanders right there.
My only remembrance of Mike Hughes was that he was the first. I think he was the youngest rookie or first rookie to get a pick six in their first game. And then
Then we got excited, right? We got excited, right?
That was it. That was it.
So he only allowed 2 touchdowns this season, playing 720 snaps. He had 4 pass breakups. He didn't have an interception, which I guess interceptions are hard for cornerbacks. He won a ring with the Chiefs, I believe. And he was a key player on that defense.
I don't get how he didn't become any good. He went up against Thielen and Diggs at practice every day. Like, look at Slay. Slay's only good because he went up against Megatron every single day of his rookie year in his career. I don't get how he didn't even pan out going up against.
I'm not saying this guy's a cornerback 1 by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Never mind. I'm out.
He's a guy.
On this comment, I'm out.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, he could be a guy you sign after you sign cornerback 1 because we don't have that.
That's pretty good, Robbie. That was pretty good, Robbie. Hughes is not allowed back.
Yeah.
The only reason everybody hates Hughes is because that could have been Lamar Jackson. That's the only reason everybody hates Hughes.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
If we would have re-signed Case Keenum instead of Kirk Cousins, we would probably have Lamar Jackson drafted instead of Mike Hughes.
I don't get why you didn't draft Lamar Jackson anyways to sit behind Kirk Cousins. If anything, he dropped all the way to 32nd. Like.
Jason, I'm with you. Like, he's been a very serviceable cornerback. Better than freaking Stephon Gilmore at $10 million.
Well, yeah, I'm agreeing with Jason too. Like, if you're getting Mike Hughes, that's because you already signed a cornerback 1.
Right. Like I said about Isaiah Rodgers, same thing here. If this is our cornerback signing, I'm freaking mad.
Yeah.
If this is our second cornerback signing, okay.
Because the money
now you got DJ Reed, Mike Hughes, and Blackman. I feel pretty good about that.
I don't.
Well, I don't know about Blackman just yet.
I don't either. But faith. I mean, I at some position we're gonna have to have faith, and I feel that's better than what we had. And I also think that we could bring Shaq Griffin back. I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I bring him back before I bring Mike Hughes back.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could see that. I would say that too.
I could get with that, I guess, but I would bring in Isaiah Rodgers over Griffin.
I mean, you might see if we go heavy and spend all the money on the O-line, you might just see Mike Hughes and Isaiah Rodgers as our starting cornerbacks.
So we keep talking about we could have drafted Lamar Jackson, right? And then I'm just imagining we did draft Lamar Jackson, and Mike Zimmer sitting there stewing, saying, "He's not Teddy. He's not what I want," and just absolutely wasting the career of that MVP player.
Yeah, I think when he got Teddy ran the ball a lot as a quarterback. Then when he got that concussion, I think Zimmer's like, "Oh, it's my boy." I think we would have seen the same kind of thing, but a better runner.
I think it would more so be all he wanted was protect the ball. That's all Mike Zimmer cared about. Protect the ball, hand the ball off, and drive down the field. As long as Lamar wasn't getting sacked ridiculously, then it could have probably worked out. I just don't know what type of offense we would have ran because I don't even know who our offensive coordinator was. Matter of fact, I do know. It was John D. Filippo. Oof.
Yeah, that guy was.
Oof.
And didn't that dude just come off of a Super Bowl win?
Yeah, well,
He sure did.
He thought he had Nick Foles at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't Kirk Cousins be an upgrade over Nick Foles?
I mean, you have to run the RPO to and Kirk Cousins can't. We saw him in Atlanta try to run an RPO, and it wasn't good.
So Keith said this was the last one, right?
Yep.
Got something to say about that. Here we go.
Come on, rookies. No Duke Shelley Bella list. Old Duke.
Is he a free agent?
He might not be in the league anymore. I don't know.
Is it?
Ooh.
Is it?
Duke.
When was
Hey,
the last?
No Duke Shelley.
When was the last Vikings player that left our team and then ended up being good for another team? It seems like it's Moss and probably maybe Harbin, right? And then that's
Wasn't Ezra Cleveland like the best offensive lineman on the Jaguars?
yeah, that's saying a lot on that Jaguars offensive line.
I mean, Vidarian Lowe started for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook was pretty. Oh no, he wasn't.
Like maybe Danielle Hunter could be the next one, right? Danielle Hunter.
Or Darrell Patterson. Look what he did in Atlanta.
Hey, same thing he did with us.
Except didn't he win an award or something?
Look at that. Seen one an award.
Wait a minute. Stephon Diggs went to Buffalo. He was pretty good.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. That'd be the last one.
Yeah, Rich Gannon became an MVP for what? The Raiders?
Well, we're talking about the last guy. It's
Yeah, we're not going back 20 years. People don't like when we do that, Fish.
Oh yeah.
Take it 2008 and be above. All right. So those are our cornerbacks. I definitely want DJ Reed and then one of these lower end guys. I think that'd be a win. If not, to the high end guys. I think we can get to the high end guys if we don't bring back Murphy. And I don't believe Murphy is worth what he's going to command. I like Murphy. I really wanted to bring him back. When we first signed him, I was mad it was only a 2-year contract, especially when we got him for like $11 or $12 million a year. I was like, damn, that's going to be a mistake, which was 3 or 4 years. I am not bringing him back at $20 million. He's not a $20 million cornerback. When you look at the cornerbacks who are making that money, those names, he don't belong there.
Word.
So now let's get into the safeties, which we might have to go out and get a safety depending on what Harrison Smith does, depending on what to do with Cam Bynum. I think they are more likely to sign Cam Bynum than Byron Murphy.
I'd be with it.
Yeah, I think so too. He brings, like we talk about culture on this team. He brings some good culture to this team. Right? Like the touchdown celebrations, the NFL honor show, like that. If you believe that's culture, and he brings it. And I don't think Cam Bynum's bad. I mean, that tackle, what we saw, that was pretty rough to watch. But he hasn't been bad for us. I don't remember a play that they've thrown a massive long touchdown pass against us, unless it was the Commanders game, and that's when he.
I was just gonna say that when the ref took him out.
Like,
You forgot about Jamison Williams' first touchdown. Apparently, he ran right by Bynum.
Fish is the leader of the anti-Cam Bynum club.
Ever since his wife got her visa, I'm out.
Fuck, Fish is him.
I mean, you play different when you got less testosterone.
Oh gosh, that's why boxers don't do it, right? For a fight. I don't know, man. I think I would like to keep them. There are a couple guys on this list who are a little bit cheaper, but they don't have the same continuity as this guy, the same leadership as him. So, like the 16 million, that's probably kind of pushing it for me. But if we're talking 12, 13 million, man, I don't see any reason not to bring him back if we're not going to bring back Murphy.
and these are just estimates from journalists that think this is what they're going to get.
I'm actually not a fan of all that celebration shit. For a second, I thought it was cool, but I actually see it as a distraction now.
Not a fan of it. I don't know if I see it as a distraction, but when he's getting interviewed about it and talking about I'm going to get the coach involved in it, okay, that kind of went a little bit far for me, I guess.
I like showmanship. I like trash talking. I do like that stuff. I think it's going too far. You you recover a fumble or you get an interception early in a game and you got to run to the no, dude.
What was it? Was it basketball that showed it?
Yeah, where it
The
was
too
getting
much
too
celebrating.
Yeah.
I wish I had that thing queued up. I wish I had that scene queued up for this because
Yeah.
that's exactly kind of what it's turning into.
They're river dancing in the end zone. Yeah.
I have more confidence that we're going to sign majority of our players from last year to this team than I do signing any kind of free agent new guy.
I'm with you.
Well, you gotta be more specific. You say we're signing a majority. Well, yeah, we're gonna sign a bunch of the $1 to $3 million guys, but I don't think we're gonna sign Cam Bynum and Byron Murphy. Go ahead. You want to say that for your you want to say that for your hot take, big guy?
14 wins is 14 wins. As a coach, you won 14 wins last year, and your biggest problem of losing the last two games was the quarterback, and the quarterback has changed. So since the quarterback has changed, you can go after the same guys that you have because now you just switch the problem, right? And we said offensive line, we need offensive line. Sam Darnold had like 4 seconds to throw the goddamn ball. We were complaining about that. He has all the time in the world to throw the ball. He just is not throwing the ball. You took away the problem, re-sign the guys that you had last year and make another run.
I like Cam. I would like to see him back. This if it's at that 60 million, like I said, it bugs me a little bit. But I think he's very good at keeping the play in front of him. And that's the safety's job as the last line of defense is not to let the play get behind you. And he actually does very well on not letting that happen most of the time. Unless he's facing Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs is rough.
Then he breaks ankles. So if we're not going to sign him, let's look at our other options. The number one option, you're going to be paying this guy $5, $6, $7 more million. Javon Holland. Now, Brian Flores drafted this guy. Excellent. He might be one of the best safeties in the league. He could do it all. He could play all the positions. He's like Metellus on steroids.
Is he a strong safety or a full safety?
He a free.
Both. He can play both.
Plays both.
He's
He can play
24.
both. That's what's crazy to me. Is he's only 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the best run-stopping safeties, Shaq.
I mean, he's a safety.
I know you like a DB that can stop the run.
I mean, he's a safety. I would prefer a safety who could tackle. Cornerback, I don't care if you could tackle or not. Just cover.
Okay, but watch the grades of the run grades of these safeties as we go on. So he's one of the better ones. He can play free and he can play strong, and he could also play in the slot. Like I said,
who we getting an offensive line if we get this guy?
Huh?
Who we picking up on free agency and offensive line and the 3 corners we need on this team if we get this guy? Like, is safety, you're going to spend big money on a safety or you're going to spend big money on cornerback or guard?
I'm probably out on this, to be honest. Like, it's nice to think about, and he might actually even be worth that money. But like you said, Cody, considering what we need, I probably put this kind of on the back burner.
And now I'm convinced that's what we're going to get.
Oh, don't do that.
That's what we're going to get. We are going to sign Javon Holland. He's going to be our big signing, and we are going to have the same trenches we had in 24.
Fish, I feel like you're almost rooting for that to happen.
No, it's just once again I've seen this damn movie. We are going to sign something that is not on the highest need basis, and we're going to be proud about it.
Yeah, right. Watch day one of free agency, Vikings sign T. Higgins. What?
Yeah.
Quasy's like, we're scoring 40 a game, damn it.
40 a game.
Yeah. I'm out. I like him. I like the idea of it. I don't want to pay a safety that much money. Next, we got Justin Reed, who might be just as good as a cornerback. I mean, a safety, a little bit older, but his price range is more in line with Bynum. So I have a tough time with this one. If I'd rather have Justin Reed or Cam Bynum, I do think Justin Reed's the better player overall. But when you consider the team continuity and everything, it makes it a little bit tougher. What do you think about Justin Reed, Shaq?
So I did like him when he was on the 49ers, and then I forgot he got in trouble for something. I don't know, it was like gambling or whatever. And then he got basically sent to the Chiefs. So I would sign him, but there's another safety I prefer to sign that we didn't get to yet. So he'd be a cool solid safety. I had nothing really against him.
Is it the 49ers safety?
I don't know, Fish. It could be the 49ers safety.
Yeah.
So Justin Reed, the last 3 seasons, he's had over 85 tackles. And last year alone, 2023, he had 5 sacks. As a safety, 5 sacks and 10 pressures.
What is
that? Steve Spagnuolo defense.
Yeah, that's that the fixer role with Harrison Smith. What does he do? He comes off the edge, right?
Yeah, no, he's a solid tackler, like Boyd said. I like him. Just like at that price, it's the same price as Cam Bynum, and I can't decide which one I'd rather have. I don't know, man. That's tough. I think he'd be a solid addition. Yes, we could use him to replace Harrison, but then like I don't know. You bring back Cam Bynum and you bring in a Justin Reed, and now you're paying your safeties $30 million.
Yeah, and it's tough that we're losing. We have Metellus is the only like starting safety on this team that we have, and he plays multiple positions. You take away the multiple positions from Metellus, and you
do have Theo Jackson.
You make him a full-time safety. What do you really got with Metellus? Like, is Metellus even a good safety?
Norris Fields, I kind of agree with you, and there's actually some pretty good safeties in that range. Next. That's him, Shaq.
There we go.
You too, Fish. Shaq and Fish.
I don't know, 14 million.
So he's another one of these players that, like Steven Watson alluded to, didn't have a great 2024 season as far as grades go, but his 3 seasons before this were great. He was an all-pro, I think in 2022 or 2023. So he's definitely got some pedigree in him.
As a rookie all-pro.
I think he also got injured. He was injured either this year or coming off an injury. So he had an up and down season.
It's crazy how DBs coming in their rookie year or their second year in the league, they become all pros like it's nothing. So like we can talk about signing a safety, or we can talk about drafting a safety. Like I think he went in the second or third round.
Second.
Yeah. So like if you can find a way to trade back in the draft, maybe that's what you do is you draft a second round safety, because the statistics right now, first and second year DBs, they're like, it's like they're handing out all pros to them. So
what school did he go to?
USC.
That's why I know him. I'd definitely pay him that $14 million. He'd definitely be the replacement to Harrison Smith, and we could probably change him up with Metellus. And when he flies around the field, you see him flying around the field to hit people.
So, like Stephen Watson alluded to this earlier. We're talking about Harrison Smith for a second because Jason just brought it up. That $26 million is only if we don't do something before the 15th. He only has like $6 million in void money. Mm-hmm. So I know Stephen Watson's supposed to come school us on the cap, but like that's not. He doesn't have $26 million in void money. He only has like $6 million. If we cut him or he retires, it's only $6 million to our cap this year. There's the crazy $26 million. That's what happens if we don't make a decision by the 15th, which a decision will be made by the 15th, either by us or by Harrison Smith.
Yeah, and you can always cut Harrison. It'd be like, hey, Harrison, we're going to give you a pay cut, and it's literally you're going to get cut and then re-sign with us for a lower number. Okay, you retire a Viking in Minnesota. It doesn't matter about money. Your whole fucking life is paid for. Honestly, you retire a Viking, your whole career is a Viking. You can eat for free. You're probably going to live for free. You know what I'm saying?
Eat for free, live for free.
This was a Bama guy, right? Trevon?
TCU.
TCU, yeah. Okay.
Look at that run defense grade. Let's make him a linebacker.
6'2", 202, baby. That's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
He can play safety and he can play slot, Cody. I know you're very worried about our slot position. He can play in both of those.
I'm definitely worried about it.
He's on the rise. 3 of his 4 seasons, he's played over 1,000 snaps, so he's durable, battle tested. He's another one that the fans didn't want to lose.
Sign me up.
I don't know. The thing is, I just don't know enough about him besides what I got printed here to say yes, $13-15 million.
If you're
I like his durability and dependability. It's a lot of money.
He shines on the back team. That's what I want. That's the
best ability is availability.
Yeah.
He has 6 interceptions, 17 pass breakups in 4 years, 2 sacks. 2 sacks last season.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of does a lot of things.
That's an interesting prospect right there for me.
Yeah. If you shine on a bad team, you're the player shining instead of you're the player that shines on a really good team. I'd rather take the guy that shines on a bad team because I know he's good. He does.
So to Stephen Watson's credit, he's a great tackler and he can handle tight ends and everything. His coverage is what's a little bit suspect. And I don't know how you feel about that for your safety being a little suspect in coverage, especially if you're going to pay this guy $13-15 million.
Well, with Brian Flores' defense, thank God he only has to cover half the field and it's cover 2. His quarter. He's got to cover quarters. That's all he's got to cover.
How long can we use Brian Flores for, though?
For the next 2 years with fucking Questy, you got to go all in, right?
I'm just saying, like, how long? Eventually, Brian Flores is going to get a chance, right? Eventually.
2 years from
Eventually.
now.
He's suing the good old boy network, Keith. He could be out forever.
Yeah, you want.
So he's 6'2" and 202, and I like that. I like that in the red zone.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And he's only 25.
And he covers tight ends, which that's what the rule is.
They almost lost it. I like him. The price scares me a little bit. You can tell I'm always financially worried. I shouldn't be. We have a lot of money. I would say that at the top of the show. I do like him, but I got to compare this to, like, would I rather have him over Cam Bynum? And I don't know because it's the same valuation.
How old's Cam again?
Might be like a year older.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
So, like, that's really not a determining factor. But definitely somebody we should keep an eye on during the free agency period if we do not bring Bynum back. I like this guy, Jeremy Chin.
I like Jeremy Chin a lot, too.
Oh, yeah.
This guy could play safety. He can play safety. He can play cornerback. He can play linebacker. And he says, "Put me wherever you want to put me, and I'll produce." Like that. That's his mantra.
Yeah, especially in a Flores defense, it's all about speed and versatility.
Look at that size. Look at that size.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Speed and versatility.
Look at that price.
I'm sold.
So, like, this is a guy now I might say, yes, I will take him over Cam Bynum because we potentially are saving $5 to $6 million. And we might be getting the better player. He can't dance as good, but we might be getting the better player, and we're getting
I'm
it
out.
for cheaper.
I'm out.
I shouldn't have said the dancing. I knew Fish would be out.
I mean,
So in 3 of his 5 seasons, he has over 100 tackles, and he has a sack in every season that he's played. So this guy, he's another. Like I said, there's a lot of safeties that kind of seem to fit that Metellus mold. Like they can do a lot of things and not just play safety, which Cam Bynum can't do.
and I trust Brian Flores when it comes to roster turnover more on that side of the team than I do KOC, right? Because KOC, we know KOC, you insert a quarterback, the quarterback's going to play decent for this offense. Now, Flores, you last year we lost a bunch of dudes on defense, inserted all these new guys, and we played higher level of football. So I'm okay with losing dudes on the defense. I'm just not okay with losing offensive players unless it's the quarterback. So I'm in on Jeremy Chin.
Jeremy Chin is at the top of my list if we do not resign Cam Bynum, and I wouldn't feel bad about it. I also like this next guy. If I can remember what I'm doing here. Here we go. Julian Blackmon from the Colts.
No, pass. That run defense is trash. Jahmyr Gibbs gets to the second level. You just say it's a touchdown.
But look at his overall.
Look at his coverage grade. Yeah.
We might be facing Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, and James T this year in our division. I'm off. I'm out.
I mean, the 147 out of 170 does bug me a little bit. But I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to take as much notes as I wanted to. But the stuff I was reading about him, I liked. Like, I remember being gravitated towards him. Maybe it was the $7 to $9 million. So I'm very frugal.
Well, Keith, that's how you have $80 million in cap space, right? You act like you're poor.
Right. That's how the rich stay rich, right? No. But he had a pretty successful 4 years with the Colts. He went out to free agency last year, thought he would get more, and he didn't. So he ended up going back to the Colts where he signed like a $4 million deal. And now he's going back out there to try it again.
I don't know.
After talking about Jeremy Chin, this is kind of a letdown.
Yeah, the run defense, the NFC North is turning into the black and blue division again with what these running backs that are in. I don't know if it's turning back in the black and blue division. I don't want to touch whatever. If a safety can't tackle, I don't want it.
I don't know if that necessarily means he can't tackle.
Can't stop the run.
I gotta look up something real quick, fellas.
I mean, if he gets to the second, because running backs, the biggest worry is getting that running back to the second level. You're the safety. You're the last option of stopping it. I'd rather take Jeremy Chin because of what his ranking was.
Maybe the Colts were just stopping the run, so he never had a chance.
Yeah, it could be too, but also Jeremy Chin went up against Saquon twice a year last year, and I'll take that.
Let me see. Let me see what. So yes, his run defense was a 55. 2023 was a 59. 2022, his run defense was a 77. And 2021, his run defense was 81, which was 11th out of 174. So he has had some good seasons as a run stopper. And he has 7 interceptions over the last 2 seasons. Stephen Watson, 6 in stops is a good stat. I like stops. I barely learned what a stop was last year. And I think that's a very good stat. A stop is basically when a defender makes a tackle that results in a negative play for the offense. So stops are a big indicator on how aggressive and how good a defensive player is. I wish Shaq was here so I could do the damn hot takes.
Jeremy Chin.
Three tackles in his career. 300 tackles in his career. I like him.
Yeah, that PFF run grade must mean he just gets lost in the sauce during a run play.
But like I said, he was in his first 2 seasons, he was top 15 on all safeties in the run.
I would rather take ascending over degrading.
Ooh. Got me.
If he was ascending, the $7 and $9 million would have a 1 in front of it.
Oh yeah, it would. There's a reason why he's making 7 and 9. Jeremy is the guy I would look for. I think that's awesome numbers. Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at this signing. I guess I wouldn't be as excited, but I wouldn't be mad at it. But I think I like Chin. Out of all the guys we talked about, when you consider everything, the whole package, I think I like Jeremy Chin.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chin's my 2 and Hufanga's still my 1.
Yeah, versatility and speed over anything.
Always Hufanga number 1.
Who?
Hufanga.
Hufanga number 1. I think I would take Chin at the $6 million savings.
Yeah, because I think Jeremy Chin could be an all-pro safety on the right style of defense.
All right, I want to get some of the audience members on here to give some of their thoughts and opinions on what we've talked about. But before we do that, let's give our hot takes. And this week, I'm going to lead it off. So let's go ahead and get to the hot takes. And what I got is the contract that Sam Darnold signs this offseason will be less than $40 million average annual value.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go on Keith. I'm going to piggyback off him. I think he will sign that contract under $40 million. I think he will get tagged and he will get traded for the equivalent of a second-round pick.
You piggyback off of one of mine and you shot another one of mine. I like it. But yeah, and I honestly don't think it's that hot saying that Sam Darnold's not going to get $40 million per year, but just everything I hear is saying, oh, he's going to get 40, 45, and it's going to be for 4 to 5 years. And all. I don't see it. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think teams are going to be fooled. They're really not. Like, he might get $35 million a year, $32 million a year, which is a hell of a lot of money for him for what he's been through. I don't see the 40 million, and no, I just don't see it. What do you got, Michael Fish?
With the exception of J.J. McCarthy in the quarterback position, our starting 22, we are only going to have 2 new starters on the team this year versus last year. However, one of them is going to be a tier 1 free agent.
Piggyback off me. See, we're just piggybacking off of everybody here.
Yeah, that was pretty much the same.
I like it.
But I guess a tier 1 adds a little sauce to it.
Mm-hmm.
You do know Cody made that one, right?
It's gonna be a safety.
Never mind.
The safety's gonna be tier 1.
It's going to be Javon Holland.
Yeah.
It better not be Javon Holland. All right, Shaq, you got one? Or do we need to talk a little more?
Yeah, no, I got one. And I just forgot it.
You just went and took a smoke break, didn't you?
No, I want to go heat up some food.
You're all hanging down shit.
Yeah, it's an old V-neck. What the fuck was my hot take? Oh. The Vikings will sign a player for $20 million plus this free agency.
Okay.
So there's that tier 1.
That means that they're going to sign a defensive tackle or guard on one of the top ones.
Oh yeah.
Or Javon Holland.
Or Javon Holland. Stop with that bullshit. KLC Jr., why don't you tell us what we're going to do? We can't hear you.
First off, it's nice to be back on. It's been a bit hazy in the absence. But anyways, so what we need to do is hopefully get Darnold, like persuade him to sign the tag, and then we need to go for this Blackman guy for the case that Harrison Smith does not decide to come back, although it's looking pretty likely that he is on his end, from what I hear. And then we then at corner I would like to see Reed back on our roster. No, not back on our roster, just on our roster, period.
So you want Reed, you want Blackman. Okay, I like it. I think it's a fairy tale thinking that we're gonna freaking franchise and trade Sam Darnold. Like it's a freaking fairy tale. It's not real life. It's fictional.
Hey, can I joke around real quick? KLC,
No.
What side of your head do you sleep on normally? Is it
Well, I literally just got back from the gym. My fucking hat fucked my hair up.
You need something. You need that something about Mary Jail.
Let me continue with the joke. You look like Gary. You look like Gary Oldman's character from The Fifth Element right now.
I was gonna say
everybody.
The Ace Ventura hairstyle going on.
There you go.
Better, Dylan?
That's so much better.
Now we're into Unabomber territory. I like it.
But it's better. But it's still better.
I couldn't stop looking at you. You either were Goku or you're like.
Yeah, I look like Goku from one side. I'm not sorry about the way my hair looks. I mean, it just came that way. Like when I came back home.
It was not the KOC comb over. It was the comb under.
All right.
So right now we're opening up to you guys, the audience. If anybody wants to come on here and give their takes on anything we talked about or has a take that maybe we missed, jump on and let us hear about it. We'll get this for a few minutes. And if none of you got nothing to say, we're going to get out of here. Fish is like, you better not have nothing to say.
Y'all better shut up.
Do you have a hot take, Mike?
Let's see about the draft, the combine, or anything.
Free agency. Let's see if you could freestyle it now.
Hot take. I think the Vikings are gonna swing a trade for Jonathan Allen, and I'm not entirely sure about Shin, but it could be a trade for Allen, and we could get some. Maybe we could get some picks from the Commanders off of him.
Yeah,
so you think we're going to trade for Jonathan Allen and get draft picks?
You got to pay him.
Maybe.
Antimaniac.
That's
Who is that? Oh, it's Joe Biden? Where's the laptop? Where's the laptop? This is not a political show, by the way.
It's not.
No.
It really isn't. Polite request. 2 hours later, you post the link. 2 fucking hours later, get the fuck out of here. This is an interactive show. The four of you fucks talking about the same shit. It's inorganic. Can't have that shit.
What's up, Dylan?
What up, Dylan?
What the fuck happened between the 30 seconds it took me to switch over to this shit?
We're sorry, chat. Yeah, you had to hear all that. We could have left right when it popped on, but thank you for staying.
Who is that drunk douche?
Did you watch any of the combine yet, Dylan? Or you not really a big fan of the combine?
Them fat guys ain't Dylan's bag.
I love the combine. The combine is my favorite time of year. The only thing is, like at work now, my signal in my office is shitty because we're on like the 25th floor, so I can barely get shit to load. Like I'm trying to watch it and work, and so I got to see a little bit, but I didn't get to focus that much on it.
Well, last year, Dylan, I gotta ask Dylan a question.
Ask him.
Last year you gave us Kyrie Jackson. Do you got one for us this year?
Not.
Or do you need more time?
Not yet. Maybe more
Yet?
time. I had more time last year. I don't have as much time this year.
You still have time. We're really not going to get into draft talk until 2 weeks from today.
Yeah. Were you guys talking about like how to fix up the secondary?
Dorian Strong.
We're talking about through free agency.
Through free agency. Yeah, like I would be hyped if we got fucking like DJ Reed. I feel like he's like the number one dude I want. And if we can't get him, I'd be down for Asante Samuel Jr. I like him. And then I didn't even know, you guys mentioned Jeremy Chin. He's one of my favorite safeties. I didn't even know he was on the market. And then you guys said he was like $6 million. Like,
no, it was like 7 to 9.
Bro, fucking let Bynum walk, grab Chin. Like, I'm down with that.
Yeah, as of right now, that's what he is. But like, whoa, to Cody's point, we don't know who's actually going to be a free agent come March 12th. Because like we don't know who's going to end up getting signed back by our team. Like, because we're talking about re-signing Bynum, Commanders are probably having the same conversation about Chin. But if he's out there,
Robbie and Dylan, can I count on you guys to play Stumped with me?
Oh, you are itching for that. I have to really, really like milk this fish because eventually I'll say yes, but I have to be courted like a young lady that I am.
Oh, I see. So you want like flowers and chocolate?
Oh, bro, flowers. I want to be. I want
dinner.
I want those awkward pics. I want empty promises. I want all that stuff.
I'm good at empty promises. I got you there.
Real quick, a question I was asked earlier: quarterbacks throwing at the combine. I'm stealing this from ESPN because I thought the same things. Like, why don't they throw? And they said something that was ultra obvious and slapped me right in the face. They're throwing to receivers they've never thrown to before, for the most part. And being with that dynamic doesn't exist, it could potentially make them look like shit.
Well, yeah, like legit as like a receiver, like just personally, like playing receiver, like when you run routes with a quarterback you've never thrown with.
It doesn't work.
Weird. It
doesn't work.
Like it literally takes like you have to like throw like 50 to 100 routes to just like kind of get like some kind of like just common ground with like one quarterback.
Yeah, not somebody you had breakfast with like 4 hours ago that you barely know. So yeah, and I understand that to a point, but at the same time, if you can make it connect with somebody you've never thrown with before, that just adds a lot to you.
What they should change about that is for quarterbacks, if they're going to make them throw, you throw the velocity throw, you throw the long distance throw, and you don't need a wide receiver on the other end of it, right? You just how far can you throw? How fast?
Or how about this? Be like the home run derby, and you have a pitcher that throws to you that you like. Have a receiver that you like to throw to.
Or don't even have that. Just have a guy stand on a sideline at an out route. That's the end part of the route. Throw the ball there, have a guy, and while you're doing it, have him roll out and throw on the run, throw off.
Well, that still goes back to what we were saying, though. That level of comfort, comfort's not there.
If the wide receiver is just standing there already, all you're looking at is, can he throw off platform? Can he throw off the run? Can he roll out and throw? The wide receiver is not running around; he's just standing.
Yeah, but how often is a receiver just dead foot planted and gets the ball thrown to them? That is ultra.
I'm talking about the quarterback.
I see what you're trying to say. No, I'm sorry, not quarterback. A receiver. Forgive me. A receiver just like flat-footed is typically not just ball. It's
not talking about the quarterback standing on and with his feet on the ground. We're talking.
I did correct myself by saying the receiver, but continue with your saying.
We're watching the quarterback.
Maybe it should just be more like a skills challenge thing.
And
now that's the most boring fucking thing to watch. More throwing at damn TVs and shit. Fuck that. I'd rather them throw to a receiver they've never thrown before. And if you're a GM, you're college educated, you know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for. If the receiver's not connecting with the receiver or the quarterback, that as a GM, I know the difference. I don't need to see, well, quarterback not throw good to receiver he's never thrown to before. I'm gonna put two and two together and look past that and say the dude threw well. The receiver just, again, there's a continuity confliction there because they're not used to each other. So we should move on to that. A quarterback should always throw. We all looked forward last year to one guy throwing the ball, and that was Milton. How far could the dude throw? And that's all we cared about. It was entertaining. But we have issues with quarterbacks in college, like their arm strength, are they even remotely accurate? Blah 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 blah. And that's the combine is the last chance effort to increase your stock in that category. So throw the fucking ball. Throw the ball.
Velocity, distance, and whether or not you can do it off platform.
So here's a question for you, Robbie.
Or and then just your ball placement too.
That too, right? Yeah, in the vicinity, like you know what you're working with. Then,
if what's his name, Caleb and Jaden, if they would have both thrown at the combine, do you think there's a possibility Jaden Daniels could have jumped up and gone 1 overall?
Absolutely. To me, when Caleb Williams was being interviewed, and the interview was, and I love female interviewers. They're so poetic. And again, Shaq, you were there for that. You and I were talking about that. It was his favorite gummy bear fucking flavor. That's what they were talking about. I was like, bro, at that point, I tapped out. I was like, I was done with Caleb Williams. He was sitting there in his clothes talking about gummy bear flavors. I was done.
What if they did like the Pro Bowl competition that they did with the quarterbacks? Like something like that, like a skills challenge.
Fucking find the lemon flavor. It'd be like Double Dare. Remember old school Double Dare? You got to find the flag at the bottom of the oatmeal type bullshit. It should be that with the gummy bears.
I'll say just not the combine. Just don't waste the time at the combine. Just tell them we'll see you at the pro day.
I feel like it's like nothing like is really gonna get adjusted, or maybe should get adjusted, just because like when you're growing up in like high school and stuff like that, and you go to college camps, like one of the things you do is 7-on-7 and 1-on-1s with random quarterbacks you never met before, you know?
Well, that's like the Senior Bowl. I put more stock in the Senior Bowl than I do in anything else. That to me, that's Shaq. You and I talked about this, and normally I'm on the other side. I'll give you credit on this one. That dude from North Dakota? Yeah, that guard was putting SEC players on their asses, and I was like, absolutely. That is my rare breed. That my rare diamond in the rough of the draft is that dude. And normally I'm the other side of the fence, but he was putting people but that was a comparison of his skill set to other skill sets, and that to me is comparable. And he was putting people on their asses. So the combine, you don't see that head-to-head action. So again, I put more stock in the Senior Bowl than I do in anything else in that regard.
You know, another thing for a quarterback that doesn't get talked about is the spin of the ball. Like you see a lot of quarterback, like we saw during the combine last year, and then with Will Levis, right? The spin that they were able to put on the ball, it makes a ball fly straight, right? And you saw Will Levis's spin on the ball; it was tight as fuck, right? And he starting for the Tennessee Titans, starting in the National Football League.
How much do you have to do to start for the Tennessee Titans? Like show up and like bag groceries? I mean, like it doesn't take much to start for them. Like they suck.
One of the things about when quarterbacks throw too that you can't tell from TV, like you can't tell by watching, you can't really evaluate it. But like some quarterbacks just have such like a friendly ball to catch.
Mm-hmm.
Like some they're legit quarterbacks that look like they throw fast, but when you catch their ball, it feels like you're catching a pillow. Like it literally is so soft. And then there's some quarterbacks that literally have lasers, and then like it just hurts. And sometimes like you don't always have to throw a laser. Like you don't always have to throw 100-mile-an-hour slant route. You know?
I don't, Dylan. I disagree with you on that shit, and which is rare because you and I normally see eye to eye on shit. That you're a receiver. That's your fucking job to catch the ball. If I throw it to you 2 mile an hour or 300 mile an hour, catch the fucking ball. That is your.
I feel like JJ McCarthy got spin.
Oh no! It obviously is your job, but I'm just.
Brett Favre's in the Hall of Fame. He throws.
I always think of Jeff George with the damn 90-mile-an-hour fastballs to everywhere but where we needed to be.
I think what Dylan's basically saying is you don't always have to throw the fastball. There's touch passes that you got to throw.
I understand what he's saying though, but I'm saying regardless of the speed or velocity, as Cody said earlier, which I have to give you credit for something else you said on a previous week later. The receiver should always have the mindset and the ability and the fucking paycheck to catch that ball. But Dylan, I understand what you're
saying. When I was in high school, my coach was like a former starting quarterback for Nevada, and he basically was like top 2 in the nation in like passing yards and passing touchdowns. And the only person ahead of him was Carson Palmer, and he had more than Eli Manning. And then his receiver was Nate Burleson, who had the most receiving yards over everybody except for Larry Fitzgerald. But when this man threw the ball, man, it was like you were catching a pillow. Like, it was such a good ball, but it just was so soft. Like,
that's how JJ McCarthy throws the ball.
Yeah, I mean, in wide receivers use spin on the ball to track.
Got the two biggest JJ McCarthy haters right here.
Would you like to save that for another show? Because I can do that for hours. And
I'm just like, man,
why would I save it when I could do it every show?
That's also. You need to bring Zoe on this on the show because he said something, and I need to give him credit what he said when he's on the show because it was really good. It was really good, and I agreed with him. And it was hurtful for me to agree with him, but I agreed with him. Again, bring him on the show, to which I need to give him credit. Cody, real quick, I have to give you credit for something you said the other week, and it stopped me dead in my tracks. I was like, that son of a bitch, you actually used logic, and it convinced me that I was wrong without even being on the damn show. When you
good, so you know you're wrong. So that's good.
At times, I do.
That's because you know you're wrong. So you're getting JJ McCarthy jersey.
Stop trying to just hone in on this so much, sir. It will come to. Let me get through this. Damn it! This is hard. This is hard. You were comparing the running backs, and you said what was the average yards per rush, and if it was under 4, they were shit. That sir is using logic and math, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you. I was mad at you, sir, because I was like, Najee Harris, 3.9. I was like, oh god damn it. You are 100% right, and even I, as a huge Najee Harris fan, I had to back away from something you said, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my fan card, my ass, and walk over there because you were right. That is unacceptable. And I'm not a huge Aaron Jones fan, but he was like 4.7-ish, 4.9. That's good. Mm-hmm. And that was your logical reasoning behind that assessment, which normally you and I don't see eye to eye, nor do I feel like you use logical assessments like that. But I'm giving you full college credit on that. That was good, very logical assessment, sir.
Backhanded compliment right there.
No.
This is the second time that Robbie has.
No, sir. That is
because normally you're not that good, but this time you were good.
That is fair, Keith. I understand what you're saying.
Absolutely said that.
I retract that.
This is the second time that Robbie has admitted that this show has changed his opinion. I mean, he became a Kirk Cousins fan after player A and player B.
That card, sir, that card is very flimsy. That card is very flimsy.
No, that's a solid card.
That card is very flimsy.
Yeah.
Or hold on, that actually was metal. Very flimsy card. Yeah, that's probably more accurate.
Damn it.
Man, but if we would have had Derek Harmon from Oregon and like Byron Murphy together next year, that would have been crazy.
Jason, hush. I will stop there. Hush.
Because you can't refute it. So you have to stop there.
I can, and I'm waiting to.
You can't.
I totally can. I have cards.
My girl hates JJ McCarthy with a passion.
You have no cards.
I don't dislike JJ. I don't dislike him at all.
You have no valid cards.
I have extreme value cards.
No valid cards.
No, but I have to wait for Zoe because
damn it, Samantha.
Oh, I still want to say that. I want to say what he said so badly, but I can't. It's unfair to him.
Nice.
I'll wait.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Damn.
But is it better than?
Oh my god! Are you guys actually bringing out? The guy has 0 stats, and you fuckers have jerseys and cars and all this bullshit.
I just wanted to buy one.
Dylan, I'm surprised you didn't rip that thing up.
We drafted him when he was a national champion.
No, I wasn't. I didn't want to get to McCarthy, but I mean, he's here, and I don't know. I'm like looking forward to watching him play this year if he gets the.
Yeah, me too.
That's gross.
We have no choice.
Gross. I honestly don't want like anybody else to play. Like I want him to be our quarterback.
So when I play Skunk with Robbie, it's going to be some player that played at a Division II college.
Just forgive me for being rude. So who is our quarterback 1 as of right now, February 27th, 2025?
JJ McCarthy.
No, he isn't. We don't know. We don't know at this very second.
Oh, you don't. You mean you don't know?
No one knows.
You don't know.
Well, Robbie,
JJ McCarthy is the only quarterback under contract. You dumb fuck.
JJ McCarthy is our QB1.
He is not
the only one that is under contract. He is our QB1.
As of right now, Sam Darnold's still on our damn payroll. As of this second,
He's not.
this second,
No, he's not. He's a free agent.
Bro, Robbie, with all due respect,
don't say it. Just
tweaking right now,
I
bro.
don't mind. I am
JJ
not
McCarthy
offended.
about to go dummy this season. He is our certified QB1.
My crystal ball says the same, sir.
Hey, Steven, stop with this Homer purple glasses time. Where are we wrong right now? Who's our quarterback one, Steven? Why don't you actually jump on the show, Steven, and talk? Get out the comments, Steven, and get used to being on the camera before you want to come on here.
KOC has me convinced.
I'll be happy to debate you.
Next week, I will not be having this conversation because we will know next week.
KOC has me convinced that the system runs through him. I feel like
you think we're gonna franchise Sam Darnold, Robbie?
No. Oh, if we try, I would like in a perfect world. Is that in my own perfect world? We tag and trade him and get.
Okay, so then not our QB1. Shut the fuck up.
He's still on our fucking payroll. We have that option to tag and trade his ass. Again, we're in a limbo where we don't have a QB1 at this very second. We don't. We do not.
We do 100%.
No,
we do have the QB1.
All right. Can we have
just play?
You're just struggling. You're struggling to accept reality.
No.
It's sad to see.
Narrative
that doesn't see in real time.
Is he struggling to accept reality, or is he just
So Robbie,
I don't want to
keep
keep
the Sam Darnold train?
Would you rather
Sam Darnold to 6 years for
Robbie,
fucking $400 million?
Would you rather have Sam Darnold start? Would you rather have Sam Darnold start and not
whatever that topic is?
free agent? Would you rather have Sam Darnold start? Oh my God.
I'll take option B.
Robbie,
I hate Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold was QB1 last year for us, winning 14 games. Am I correct?
Oh, Cody, get off that 14 game shit.
No. I'm just saying. He was quarterback one. He did that.
We beat 14 shitty.
Go ahead, Cody.
That's what I'm saying right here. Nobody gave Sam Darnold a fucking chance.
I know how to get rid of that, Keith. Fuck off.
Coming in this, and he comes
I
out.
know how to get rid of that. Fuck off.
Comes out and wins us 14 games. Why can't McCarthy do that? Or you look at Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs, I would say, is not quarterback one, but he comes out there and he wins us how many games?
You're using a narrative right now that relies heavily on hindsight pass.
No, it relies heavily
on hindsight. Oh, I hate hindsight.
Coach, as Kevin O'Connell's head coach, and what he can do to the quarterback position for a team.
He's very good.
Hey, Too Evil, what's going on?
He's a very good quarterback coach.
I'll get back up to 23.
I've been a huge proponent.
That's all I'm saying. As long as KOC's I said this earlier in the show. I'm more worried about the turnover on the offensive side unless it was the quarterback position than I am from the defensive side. Because we can add a bunch of new players on the defensive side and still be a good defense like we did last year. All we have to do is add a different quarterback and see which one sticks, right?
Yes.
Sam could stick. He still could stick. His last two games are the worst two games that we've saw from a quarterback.
So Mullins, Darnold is currently on our plate. We have first dibs right now. As of this, again, I have to fucking stress this.
We have first dibs, but we'd have to make an action to make that happen.
I'm sorry that I was speaking while you were interrupting. I hate that. I hate when I do that.
No, you don't. You love it, to be honest.
Bro,
my point is that on our plate right now, they are currently on our plate right now. So they are in our possession. We have control over their lives at this fucking second. We do. None of us have ultimate clarity as of what we are going to do. We all assume what we're going to do and bounce his ass and start JJ. Even I acknowledge that. But I'm trying to say we have seen, as Vikings fans, the what the hell did we just do moment happen. Oh, shit, I have burgers on the grill. God damn it. This shit's burnt nasty. But, yes, at 11:30, I'm grilling. We, as Vikings fans, have constantly seen those moments where we expect A, and somehow we pull Q. And it was like, why did we do that? So I'm just saying I could see us doing something stupid.
Okay, so Sam Darnold is a free agent right now. Okay, and that's a fact. Do we have the ability to make him not a free agent? Yes, we do. But the fact remains he is a free agent, and JJ McCarthy is not. JJ McCarthy is on the roster. That's a fact. JJ McCarthy is quarterback one as it stands right now.
No, that makes him a quarterback that is ours.
Without making a change, JJ McCarthy is quarterback one right now.
No, we're not making change. He is our quarterback, but he's not.
By franchising Sam Darnold would be a change. And you said you only want to franchise him to trade him. You don't want to franchise him to make him quarterback one. So you don't believe that Sam Darnold is our quarterback one.
I acknowledge that like 5
You
seconds.
like to argue.
No, I'm proving the point that we
You are not proving a point. You're proving you're a dumbass.
Oh, God. That's not nice. Nor is that true. We both know that. So, if next
everybody else knows it too.
Oh, God. That's important to me because I need their accolades. I do not.
This is how it ends the conversation, right? With KOC as your head coach, every quarterback is going to be a quarterback one. Now, how many games do you win with that quarterback one?
Next year? Not that many.
No. But we won 14 with Sam Darnold.
We weren't going against the NFC North, or I'm sorry, the AFC North, or the damn NFC East, as we are next year. We're going to go several games.
But we played Washington, bro. We was going against the NFC North, which had the best record.
Yeah, 3 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, so Boyd, you're saying you're a dumbass too, Boyd, and Boyd, I didn't know you like that. But if we had to play a game tomorrow, Sam Darnold's not under contract, so it would not be him.
That's not the same. That is not the same.
Well, the only guy agreeing with you is that's what he's saying.
That's
what is this conversation?
Tomorrow, we're not starting JJ. We're not. He doesn't know the system as well as Sam does. We'll probably franchise tag his ass, playing him a game and trading him.
The only sense that has been made is right here by Steven. This is the only sense that's been made. But he's wrong because Rippon would not be quarterback one.
Rippon is a free agent.
He is right.
Didn't know the system.
We actually signed Rippon.
Sam Darnold didn't know the system. Sam Darnold didn't know the system.
Didn't. Cody, that's past tense. He does know it now, though. So I was saying, if a game started tomorrow, you want
what's the difference of McCarthy? What's the difference of starting McCarthy then and getting rid of Sam Darnold?
Real quick, this is why you posted a link earlier. Organic.
No, we post a link later after we've done our show.
Still love though.
I'm saying when he first got here, we won 14 games. What about McCarthy? He doesn't know the system. But I would say McCarthy knows the system.
So hold on. So you know what? Real quick. So starting the rookie
down Fish's burner account.
So poor JJ is going to start against the 2 toughest divisions in football and have a shit ton of losses, and then we're all going to be screaming for damn pitchforks and damn torches. I feel bad for his ass. Sam Darnold was set up nice this year because we had a cupcake schedule. Next year, it's the opposite. It's bad next year.
What the cupcakes that we played?
The AFC freaking South and the NFC
Tell him, Jason.
West
Tell him,
are
Jason.
garbage.
Yeah, JJ McCarthy's been here. Like, he has more knowledge of the system than what Sam Darnold when he first.
All right, guys, real quick, objectively speaking, what are his stats? How do we know that? Because he's there on the sidelines fucking watching? There's no stats to go off of that. Again, I'm speaking objectively. There's
no stats from fucking Sam Darnold when he started his first game for the Minnesota.
But we have stats for his ass. There's something.
What was Jordan Love's stats?
What
was Jordan Love's stats?
But they skyrocketed when he came to us.
Wow, you got pitch there, sir. I mean, really high pitched. I'm gonna give you credit for that. Whatever you said, I agree with, just because you got high pitch.
It has no credibility. That's the problem, Robbie. Like,
thank you.
You're saying something. Oh, we don't know about JJ McCarthy. We didn't know about Sam.
No stats.
But we saw him in the preseason before he got hurt. And he's even been having luncheons with KOC.
Preseason stats. Wow. I'm tapping out here, guys. Just on that alone. Like, we're using preseason stats and nothing else to try and prove a point. Outstanding.
We have film on JJ McCarthy. We know his potential.
Great.
But the intangibles are still there.
Potential. That's all it is. Again, we're speculating. So,
yeah, you're right. Sam Darnold got the playbook.
Maybe I might be speculating, but
you are speculating off of nothing. Fucking preseason and then nothing.
Sam Darnold got our offensive playbook while he was playing a full year under Carolina. You are correct. Or San Francisco. That week 1 of San Francisco 2 years ago, he had the Minnesota Vikings playbook in his fucking hand, studying it because he knows, you know what? I'm going to be a Minnesota Viking next year.
Cody, I fully recognize what you're trying
That was
to
his last season. Thank you, Northfest.
I totally recognize what you're trying to say, but again, we're saying that somebody knows the system that injured to fucking practice.
What did Sam Darnold
Michael Fish might be sleeping.
Probably is.
He's half asleep.
Sam Darnold was ass in his career before he joined us, Robbie. His stats were garbage.
We have a plug-and-play offense with the best receivers.
I don't give a shit. His stats. You were just saying no stats.
We have a plug-and-play offense unless it's fucking JJ McCarthy. Unless it's JJ McCarthy.
Unless it's
JJ McCarthy.
To be fair, Darnold did play for two garbage franchises, and I don't say that lightly.
To be fair.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Robbie is trying to say there is an absence of empirical data for JJ McCarthy, so he cannot be our QB1.
No, not that.
There was a plethora of empirical data saying Sam Darnold was garbage, and he was still our QB1, and he was still successful.
Yes. I say that success was skewed on two things. One, KOC is an outstanding quarterback coach. We all acknowledge
Okay, so don't bring variables in it.
Two, hold on. My second
argument was empirical data. There is none. None. It does. So if QB is such a great coach, he might be able to take a damn NCAA title winning team quarterback who was exceptional on third downs and converting and willing his team down the field and turning him into a prodigious NFL quarterback who happened to throw really fucking well at the combine and in his preseason game.
Northfist, nobody, but somebody has to.
I don't know who's been planning what in Robbie's burgers.
No, this is Robbie on low key. Robbie's actually pretty low key. Robbie ain't hit the caffeines too hard yet. I can't wait to play stuff with Robbie.
Nothing triggering has been said.
People have and what their potential could be.
Told you 4 hours.
See, let me tell you something, Mike. If you would have ever seen the first time Robbie joined us on camera, he was at a bar in Carolina. Flying around that fucking bar after a game.
No, you were in the bar. You were in the bar.
Was I?
Yeah.
This is some good shit. I'm not gonna lie.
You were in the bar.
Yeah, you were in the bar after the game.
The Panthers game.
You joined us on an aftercare, and you were just running around the damn bar. It's fantastic. It was the greatest thing ever.
It was like empty. After the game was empty. And you're like, yeah. I was like, damn, we have to keep this. I was like, we have to keep this guy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I accept that. I accept that. Yeah. Guys, I want to combat Fish what you said as well as what Keith said, but I have to wait for Zoe because again, he said something. I know I'm not trying to like give a cliffhanger episode here, but he has to be on for me to give him credit for what he said because it's like I slapped my own self in the face, but it gives him credit.
Might be waiting a while.
Nah, yeah, he doesn't
show up. He doesn't show up here that often.
I'll talk to him about that because I have to like it hit me in the face like holy shit, it was a good idea.
You need to put up the Zoe signal, Robbie.
I know it just it'll combat a lot of this stuff, and it also made a lot of sense, and I agreed with it. But again, I can't. Fuck. Again, it's credit I have to give to him because it was his idea, but it hit me, and I agreed with him.
But you're still not calling him a quarterback one, so it didn't hit hard enough.
Nope. Moving on. Nope. That has very. That has a part of it, but when you understand what he said and how my stagecraft brings it forward, you'll understand it. But I digress.
We know damn sure that he didn't say anything about any historical content. You don't do history.
2 years back count that? I mean, in a loose way, that's history. I agree with you, Fish. That I think like 10 years past history, but kind of a little bit.
Anthony Richardson 2.0 in this year's draft should be all right. I'm pretty sure he'll go like 6th round.
Oh, this draft is gonna be so bad for us. Jesus Christ!
4 quarterbacks this year. All the quarterbacks.
So the good news is, Robbie, we don't need a quarterback.
Let me ask you this, Robbie. What is your perfect draft scenario for the Vikings?
No,
this season?
Keith, save that. Save that. Please save that.
I don't have one yet.
Not yet. We have so little to work with. It's like we need a Porsche.
Oh, it should be easy. You got 4 picks. I would like to get this guy.
We need a Porsche, and we have a Pinto to trade in. So it's like,
okay, Robbie.
Who's our Pinto and where's our Porsche?
Robbie, who's your prized free agent that you want?
That's I know that one. I'm not even gonna say it. He's the best guard in the draft.
Sam Darnold.
He's a good guard.
No, free agent, Robbie.
Free agency.
Oh, free agent. I like Reed. I'm a huge Reed fan. I'm a huge Reed fan.
I don't want Reed anymore.
I've always said when I watched games with him, especially was against the Dolphins, and I saw him catch up to Etienne, like caught him. Yeah. Like nobody else was catching him.
Just for clarification, you're not talking about Justin Reed, right? You're talking about DJ Reed.
Correct. DJ Reed. Like that is one of my guys I like a whole lot.
You know what's fun about this free agency? Kwesi needs to spend a shit ton of money on this free agency because he doesn't have the picks this year.
We have nothing in equity, nothing, and we have like
we will.
How? But like what? Like we have to get rid of players to get equity.
We will.
We're gonna trade back twice, Robbie.
I'm trying to hold my hot takes in, my drafts hot takes in, and I've wanted to spit them every week, and I just haven't.
He's going to go hard. Kwesi's definitely.
I think we can start those next week.
I get why you said he was going to go hard this year because he doesn't have the draft picks to supplement the free agent list.
Like we have nothing.
He only has 4 picks. So he's like, I only have to not fuck up 4 times.
Well, I mean, right now, but that still is 4 picks. And you don't have you're looking at the past drafts. You're like, man, is Dallas Turner going to pan out? Do I need?
I bet we have at least 7 picks in the draft, and that was going to be a hot take that now I'm not going to use.
Well, I mean that makes sense because you can trade out of the 5th. And
I bet you we have go the other way. I bet you we trade and get 2 picks. I mean total. We only picked twice.
First round pick, I can give you
right.
That.
And
that we get this year, massive haul of fucking good dudes. That first pick,
I'm saving my other one, but yeah, no, I disagree with that.
We suck at picks, bro. Like Kwesi, he's very good. Again, free agent, he's a 10 out of 10. But in picks, God damn.
Not too hot.
No, I don't know.
I don't think that first round goes anywhere unless you literally seal up every position of need.
Stop saying it, Fish. Stop speaking into existence.
I'm
Fish.
sorry, it's just stuck right there now.
Tyler Booker is the only one in the first I want. The only one.
We're gonna sign Javon Holland and a bunch of garbage in the trenches.
I honestly don't see that. I don't
see that.
We are built on the edges, guys. I'm sorry.
He can't afford it.
It scares me that Brian Flores is the one who drafted him. So that does.
He's a B-flow guy.
He's a B-flow guy, and B-flow, like, hey, if you want to save your job, you're gonna bring Holland.
To use that logic, he also drafted Ginkle, and that's
if you think about it, Kwesi needs to sign 2 starting cornerbacks, possibly 2 starting safeties, 2 starting guards.
Draft a guard
after sign free agency wise. So that first pick, if you miss, like let's say you get 1 starting cornerback out of the free agency, and then you get the rest are filled out, you're sticking with that first pick, and you're going after that 1 corner. Like, yeah, that's what's happening. You only have 4 picks. You're not going to draft a starting pick, a player with that 5th round pick of the 2 you have.
Also, those wanting Austin Gentry, shut the hell up. Shut up. Jesus Christ. We're not getting Austin Gentry. Also,
we need we need 2 running backs.
The second he came across somebody like a team with talent, he got his ass handed to him. So yeah, he was really good against Delaware State.
What?
Beat the fuck out of Appomattox Courthouse Tech.
Whoa. I can see you saying we're not going to get him, but you don't think he's going to be a good running back?
No. I'm saying he's overvaluated. Like certain other players that have been drafted, JJ McCarthy, that again overvaluated based on
JJ McCarthy. Oh boy.
Bro.
How did he do against the competition?
You opened that door. Yes, so I was like, please open that door. Please open that door. And you opened the door.
I didn't open that door, but like you were just giving like Zoe a bunch of credit by opening your eyes about JJ McCarthy, but at the same time.
Oh no. Zoe's credit is actually above the JJ draft. It's like the JJ draft, and what Zoe said, again, I have to give him credit, is up here. But it's in that.
It was also probably like 3 a.m.
You probably didn't watch Ashton Genty play against Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon was the #1 team in the NCAA playoffs.
Yeah,
Boise State played Oregon, and Ashton Genty went off. Go watch that game, then come house back at you.
He went off. He did not go off, Shaq. He did not go off.
Go watch that game. And
I did watch that game, Shaq. I watched more college than you do. I watched that game.
What do you think about this one?
That could happen too. I said that 2 weeks ago.
I think I said that we're going to move our third round conditional up comp pick up to the second round to get a running back last week with a 26th pick.
You did say that. You did.
Yeah. We'll get a running back, but not how we think. I'm gonna save that one too. My God, I'm gonna hear shit for that one.
2 cornerbacks, 2 safeties, 2 running backs. You got to fill them up in free agency. I mean, otherwise that first round pick isn't going fucking anywhere.
Our first round pick will be a guard.
That and it's I mean, that's a lot of fills you got to take.
I hope our first round pick is a guard. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we need someone on that offensive line.
What a sexy position. Like I want to buy 10 jerseys just based on that shit alone.
You know what else is a sexy position?
You should buy a JJ McCarthy jersey.
Fuck you. Like that's a bet. I would save that shit. That'll be a bet. Oh,
I know that's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to think of a bet for that.
Hold on. Speaking of bets, Shaq, sir, I propose this to you now, sir. Oh no, this is good. Shaq, I need your full attention, sir. Shaq, stop doing whatever you're doing. I open this challenge to you for the offseason, Keith. This would be a good show for you. Again, a challenge because you and I love college football. I will stay out of the SEC this year in terms of my draft selections. Totally stay out of it. And you know that's going to be hard for me. You can only choose from the SEC.
That's easy.
Hey, Rob.
For you. Hold on. No, for you it is. I have to now look outside of what I covet so damn desperately to find players. I challenge this. Let's see who can find the better one. Jesus Christ. And I hope I lose. I really fucking hope I do.
I mean, you said you watch more college football than
I
me, so
do.
Hey, Robbie.
What's the bet? What is the bet?
We'll figure out. Will you take that? Hold on, Keith. I'll come full circle. Shaq, will you take that bet?
Sure.
If that's the case, Keith, I will buy a jersey of a player I dislike. Not
Hey,
McCarthy.
Robbie.
But like, how do you determine the winner?
Like, I'll figure out a way.
I don't get what's being betted right now.
Hold on. Who finds the better player? Like, who finds the better player? Because normally he only looks in these fucking weird ass colleges, and I only look in the SEC. But again, we're shifting roles here to see who's more talented at finding true talent.
Oh. So basically, he's going to be looking at SEC.
Only
You're
SEC.
going to be looking at the undervalued schools.
Yes, sir.
Look at that big mountain and shit.
No, to me that's a fucking triceratops amount of shit. That's like some Jurassic Park. Yeah, it's shit to me.
All right, Robbie, I got to call you to task on this.
Can I ask something?
I got to call you to task on this. Against Oregon, Ashton Genty had 25 rushing attempts for 192 yards and 3
Big
touchdowns.
fucking deal. When he's put up 300 a goddamn game against Appomattox State and shit. I don't care. Fuck him. I don't want.
Okay. Against Penn State, he had 30 rushes for 104 yards. He still went over 104 yards against a big team.
Again, against quality teams. I don't put a lot of stock in Oregon, by the way. Penn State, that's a good team. They have a good defense. Now, 104 yards.
I'm just saying he didn't will. Like,
that's not bad.
You're making the same argument that I made a couple of years ago to Dragos about Dwayne McBride.
Hold on, Nosifus. I want to see.
Where I said he played one good team and he disappeared. This guy's played 2 good teams and he did not disappear. So
I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying he's overvalued.
Bob, I got more beer in the fridge.
I'm out.
I'm not saying he's not good. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying he's like not good. I'm not saying that. He's very
let
talented.
me also say
he's overvalued.
Yeah,
I do not want Ashton Genty.
Nor do I.
I'm thinking more Hampton.
I like, believe it or not, the running backs that I like, there's one in Penn State. I think we're talking on the same page. And the 2 from
Ohio in this draft.
The 2 that pisses me off. Yeah, that's the one I like. The one from Penn State will probably be in the draft next year. And I actually like the 2 from Ohio State as well.
Do you like the guy from Iowa?
I don't. Oh,
I thought you watched college football.
More than me.
I know.
rusher in college football.
The white guy with the mullet.
What?
Robbie on that Scatterbo train.
Robbie watches who his wife lets him watch.
Johnson, dude.
He's such a rusher. I like the guy. I like the guy from Penn State more. The guy from Penn State that in my head right now. I like him more. Scatterbo will go too early for us. I also have to think what we're working with our budget. Like we're not getting Scatterbo. We're not getting Gentry. I also don't think we're getting Tyler Booker either, which is the one I want because he's literally the best guard in the draft. Biasm's removed. He is.
Scatterbo is going in the third round.
You think he's one of? I don't know. Again, like when we talk about drafts, like my running back pick will surprise all of you. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
It's Caleb Johnson.
No, but again, I'll leave it for that show.
Is that who you're thinking of, Robbie?
No,
that's my man.
I didn't think you were.
No.
Yeah, that's not him. Yeah, that's Caleb Johnson.
I mean, me and Cole was watching him this season.
Just second leading rusher in the college football from a good college division.
And just so you guys know,
again,
StreamYard just allowed me to post images this week. Before I could only do videos like that. Now I can do images. So I might make some so we can do some cool things that Fish wants to do.
See you next year on that one, guys. Maybe.
But yeah, I can post images now. Like that's cool.
Fish, let me know when you're done with Emiliano. I'll jump on the show. But I've been a fan since '88. Don't give me some shit from fucking '91.
Emiliano's done.
I was like fucking 14. That's not fair. You have to give me shit from like '98 on, because like I was actually.
That's fine. You can say your parameters. Fish is good with that.
That's
fair
okay.
enough. Yeah, you
go 98 on. Okay.
And Cody, secondly, if Fish, if you really want to fuck with me, you should give me a player from Alabama that I don't guess. Really like, that's a real thing. I honestly forgot that we drafted
Fish is looking for W's right now.
I know. So
he's not looking for elbows.
I forgot we drafted Irv Smith, so that would be like we didn't draft it like a tight end from like what? Shut the fuck up! Like, oh, we did. Goddamn. Again, I'm not perfect.
It'd be good if we got another Kyle Rudolph on our team.
I might give you a game.
Ooh.
I'm good. Like, yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm down, dude. But Keith's right. It'll probably go. It'll be like lengthy. That's for sure.
It's okay. He edits stuff down.
It's probably gonna be. All right.
No, but the draft should be. I want to say our draft's gonna be interesting, but I'm not looking forward to it this year. I'm really not.
I think the draft.
Considering how limited picks that we have this year, I'm
not
looking forward to it.
But
it's gonna be fun.
It's like,
I think it's because of limited picks. The pick that Kwesi makes is going to be a running back, and that's what's going to save his job.
There's some good ones in free agency though. Like I hope we don't draft a running back. There's some good ones in free agency.
He kind of has to because the running back touches the ball. What do owners look at? They look at people who touch the ball. They don't look at the defensive line.
Why don't we just draft one and sign one in free agency? We could do both.
Do both too. You could sign.
Why don't we just forget the running back position and run the run and shoot?
I mean,
empty backfield all the time.
The most successful teams this year have had good running backs.
Yeah,
I know.
I hate to say it, but I believe that position has come back full circle. Like now, that's the position that's like unknown and known. If you have a good running back, you've been successful because people have been overlooking for so long.
Let's just turn C.J. Ham into the next Chuck Foreman.
I forget he's even on. I forget he's on the team half the time, and all of a sudden he gets like a 2-yard pass. Like, oh, that guy, I remember him. He was alive.
Don't act like you didn't see him catch that 30-yard seam route 2 years ago.
I'm glad you have that one reference.
Does a guard? Is
that really Scatterbo right there?
Does a guard or a defensive tackle? You know, when let's say that this is what saves Kwesi's career. He drafts a guard or defensive tackle, right? Is that guy taking? Does that guy
have the Pellet Grill running back?
Does that guy have a more of a chance of making the playoffs over a running back or a corner? Make your team.
If we're talking about next year, I hear what you're saying, Cody, but like I'm still concerned about the schedule next year. It's ridiculous. Like
Kwesi might have a next year, so that's the problem.
Kwesi might not be here in 2026 after. I think, again, that schedule is brutal for us next year. Jesus Christ.
You're going to. I'm telling you, there. I'm going to almost guarantee they go running back in that first round.
You really? Who though?
It's Caleb Johnson or JT. Depends on if JT
Jeff's not gonna be there. What are we at? 26? He's not gonna be there then.
We're at 24.
Oh, thank you for correcting me. I was way off. But yeah, he's there 24.
Okay, then he drafts a defensive tackle. You watch him play. Do the owners watch the trenches? Like, oh yeah, this is what's going to keep his job right here. I'm gonna look at this. Oh yeah, good.
If we as fans can state the ultra obvious and say that our trenches are so fucked up, and then the GMs who get paid millions of dollars to do the obvious shit, not draft the trenches, there's a huge problem.
Or you just sign free agency through the trenches.
Those burgers are burnt, bro.
Well, fellas, we just hit the 3-hour mark, so that's where I'm gonna go ahead and end this show. Right when Shaq decides to talk, I'm gonna end the show. So let's go ahead and get your last words. What do you got, Mike?
Well, first off, thanks again for having me. It's always fun being on here, and it's always fun seeing Rob and you guys go toe to toe. And yeah, we just gotta capitalize on free agency hard, and just gotta really study and hit hard on the draft for all of our guys. And
Agree.
Skol Vikes.
Skol Vikes. Robbie.
Shaq, fuck those picks. Because we have zero equity right now going into this draft because of fuck those picks. So I want equity so damn badly. It's ridiculous because now we're looking at this draft and be bored. We're probably going to go mow the lawn, fold laundry, do some chores because we're going to have 18 hours between our damn draft picks. So let's stop saying fuck those picks, which I know he's probably going to say this when it's his turn to speak. Predictable. We need equity in our draft. We need equity in our draft, and I pray to God that we draft a guard, a good one, in the first round. Thank you.
Wesley gets fired.
Probably.
Oh, Shaq, rebuttal?
No.
Thanks to everybody joining the show. It's late as hell on the East Coast, but we still rocking and driving.
My bad.
Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. You can also donate money if you're feeling generous at Buy Me Coffee at Let's Go. Also, you can send super chats on YouTube if you're feeling generous. We're not forcing you, but it's all welcome. Thank you, Michael and Robbie, for joining us. You guys always make the show more entertaining without just the four of us. And
four of us.
See you guys next Thursday. Hopefully, we'll have some more combine talk and some more breaking news.
All right.
I'll be here next Thursday, and I'm looking forward to it.
I want Poona Ford, I want Calais Campbell, and I don't think I'm going to get what I want.
Nope.
So let's have some fun with the combine. Let's try to find something interesting we can talk about next week off the combine. It's nice to dream. Thanks for joining us, Mike and Robbie. I really don't have much else to say. Let's go.
It's not depressed, bro.
they're mad at me. We're 3 hours in. Like I'm on the West.
I'm not mad, but we are 3 hours in, and I've turned into a pumpkin. I'm sorry.
No. They're mad at me.
Like you just found a child support payment that you haven't paid in 9 years or some shit. That's how mad you are.
He's so mad at me.
Damn that child support shit.
All right.
Okay,
it's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Everybody fucking knows their days of the week. Hey, be safe. If you're going to go out and watch the combine at Buffalo Wild Wings or the bar you're about to go to or restaurant, have a plan. All right, don't drink and drive. You don't want to be Jordan Addison out there or Wes Phillips. You don't want that, right? It's going to get you.
Of all the shit you post that. Hooray for Poon.
That was for fish. Give
me all the Poona.
Give you all the Puna. Be safe. And the guys I want is the 2-2-2-2, right? We need 2 of each of these positions. Somehow you have to go hard in the free agency. Robbie B, our guy that does the financials on our side, he's got his work cut out this year, right? I think he has his work cut out more than he had during the Kirk Cousins and that kind of free agency period. Because he has to sign these 2-2-2-2-2s across the board. Plus, he has to work with what happens in 2027. So to build a roster that has to be win now under J.J. McCarthy is going to be tough. So you have to protect J.J. McCarthy, keep him safe, and you got to build up a contending defense, right? So Robbie B, he might be the MVP at the end of next year, depending how well we do. Fuck all the players that come over here. It's because of Robbie B signing those players, those contracts. Other than that, be safe. Have a plan. Don't beat your dog. Don't beat your wife. Don't beat your kids. Always. Let's go.
All right. Well, thank you for everybody who tuned in, and thank you for everybody who's on the Midwest and the East Coast who was really late for. It's only 9:42 for me. Like, I can go in that 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, out of respect for everybody else on this panel,
he has to take a pre-nap sleep.
Hey, I wish I could start the show earlier. I really wish I could, you know, to help out everybody else. This is just what it is, and you know, we make it happen. So I appreciate everybody on this panel. I appreciate everybody on this audience. We have some really good shows coming up. Like next week, we're gonna recap free agency. The week after that, we're gonna go live on a Wednesday, which is gonna be the first day of free agency. So I expect there to be a lot of action for the Vikings. That's gonna be a fun show. And then we're going to have our draft show coming up where that's just going to be an all-out party. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. I hope you all will be a part of it. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Let's go.
Let's go.
Remember,